You know, we sent some guns, but the group that was supposed to give, which I said would happen to my people, I said it, I called it exactly. We sent guns, a lot of guns. They were supposed to go to the people so they could fight back against these thugs. You know what happened? The people that they sent them to kept them because they said, what a beautiful gun, I think I'll keep it. So I'm very upset with a certain group of people, and they're going to pay a big price for that. But the Iranian people will fight back as soon as they know they're not going to be shot and as soon as they can get weapons. If they...
Welcome back to another episode of Slightly Offensive, the final episodes here on Riff TV. My name is Elijah Schaefer, and man, I need a smoke after I hear that one. Shout out to the Crucible for making smoking cool again, kids. Make sure you smoke. It'll make your parents very happy. I do need a smoke these days, partially because, as you hear, we were told that the reason why we had to invade Iran was because, well, we're getting invaded by Indians and H-1Bs here. They killed 30 to 40,000 of their own people. And then we found out actually it wasn't a protest, just like the peaceful protests in the United States back in 2020. These were actually armed uprising by the Kurds, which actually were armed by the United States. I did not even know the United States armed insurgencies around the country or around the world. That's new to me here. Joining me to talk about both the cover-up of this uprising, proof that Israel started the Iran war, and additionally, this giant lie about this rescue mission that's just totally not true of the pilot in Iran. It's a big cover-up, and breaking down one of the main stars of the Tyler Oliveira's new video exposing Frisco, as we are located, as everyone knows, in Frisco County here, which is famous for Austin Metcalf getting murdered by a black guy. Unfortunately, and Indians, it's not a very good reputation. Joining me today is the T-Mobile Whistleblower, as well as one of the greatest purveyors, before it was cool, exposing the scam of immigration in America's heartland. Marc Palisciano, welcome back to the show.
Yo, thanks for having me on.
All right.
Yes, I got cheering and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Confetti.
You can follow him.
Hell yeah.
Marc_Palisciano, right? That's what it is right there on X?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's talk about this. I'm going to play this clip one more time, and I just want you to listen to this. So, we're basically uncovering the bullshit today, the stupidity, because what it is, it's a bait and switch, right? From the international war to the economy, we are basically gaslit every single day into some new narrative that's just not true. And we were told that we had to join the war because the people wanted freedom from the Iranian Ayatollah, right? It was like Bloody Mary. You said Ayatollah 3 times in the mirror, and then they killed you. They slit your throat like you were a gay on a rooftop. We'll find out about that. But then it turns out actually no. And I love my dad, by the way, but he's like, we had to go in. They killed 40,000 women and children. It's like the Wicked Witch of the West came and the house fell on them. And you're like, or was it not that? Listen to what he admitted right here.
They don't have guns. We sent some guns, but the group that was supposed to give, which I said would happen to my people, I said it, I called it exactly. We sent guns, a lot of guns. They were supposed to go to the people so they could fight back against these thugs. You know what happened? The people that they sent them to kept them because they said, what a beautiful gun. And they go, keep.
All right, Mark, look, we're getting into this. Okay, so the entire justification, one, there was three of them. They said that we're going into Iran for regime change. That was the key thing, right? Now, I'd rather have them send our military into Frisco City Hall. I'm not calling for violence. I just know we love violence in America. And it might happen sooner than later because we only like violence against brown people who are innocent. So there's a lot of innocent brown people in Frisco. Hey, military, you want to join us? Joking. Imagine Indians getting blown up. I'm not the smell. Oh, yuck. I'm not into that. Okay. But jokes aside here, we're finding out today, and they admit it every single time. He's like, actually, what kind of happened is we sent a bunch of weapons to not have a natural protest. We sent an uprising in the country, and the people just kind of kept the guns, sold the guns, moved the guns around. Who knows what they're doing with them? Sorry, we lied to you. Now we're in a $1 billion war, possibly $1 trillion war. Are you surprised?
No, I mean, how can I get some of these guns? You know, if it's not Trump leaving them there, it's Biden, you know, leaving Afghanistan with a bunch of war stuff there too. And I'm just wondering how I get my hands on some of these guns.
Yeah, I think so. Joining us as well today, of course, is resident producer Georgie is here in the studio. It's good to have you
Hello,
back.
everybody.
Please speak into your mic.
It's good to be back. I'm here every day.
It's the only big black
It's gonna be a big
thing.
show. Great show today.
Only big black thing he won't get near. It's kind of crazy. All right, so we got to get into this. So what's kind of crazy is, you know, line number 2. I think we're at what? I think we've won about 40 wars in the last 75 years. One of which technically, I know it's not really one, but Vietnam kind of, Korea kind of, Gulf War kind of, and then 37 wars with Iran since January of 2026, right? We've won 37 wars. It's a good run here. We used to call those skirmishes, and now we won them. It turns out that, you know, we were told that they don't have any anti-aircraft. We decimated their military. You heard that, right?
Yep.
Okay, here's what Trump was saying. Check this out. And by the way, you can text app to 54470 to download the White House app. That's what we need. If you want bullshit without having to go to a fucking browser, click on it here. Check this out.
Said that Iran had no anti-aircraft equipment. How were they able to drop those?
Well, you know what? When you do thousands and thousands of flights and you have one plane shot down and not mortally, the 2 pilots got out, they got a little bit lucky. And you know what? In war, you need a little bit of luck also. They got a little bit lucky.
All right. So let's break this down here for a second. So essentially there's a narrative going around. We call them narratives now. Or as SNL calls it when they're impersonating Trump, Trump's promises are just lies that haven't been exposed yet, you know? There was this narrative that went around that was like, okay, yeah, you know, some pilot was just shot down by anti-aircraft missiles that don't exist. That was really nice to know. We had air superiority until we didn't. There's a lot of this, right? 2 weeks to slow the spread until it's 3. Yeah. Masks stop viruses until they don't. But sorry, YouTube, we know they do. We want masks back, please. They should just institute a mask law in Iran that would protect our soldiers. If they all put on masks, the anti-aircraft guns wouldn't work. I was told airborne things don't work with masks on.
Pretty sure there's a vaccine for that.
There is a vaccine for that. There's a vaccine for that. You should have vaccinated the troops more. But anyways, so we're in this place. Now, this is where the story gets weird. So you saw the F-15 got shot down, right? And then we found out it was like a couple Blackhawks, a couple transport planes, some C-130s, maybe some more things. What did you hear about that?
I just what you explained. And I just wonder how all this stuff gets shot down, but you only have one person that we have to go find.
Yeah.
Like, so when we shoot down these other planes, do they go and land in other countries? I don't understand how any of this works. I've also have very big trust issues with our government these days, so I don't believe anything they tell me anymore.
Yeah, when I go to the bar, I get shot down more than once. You know what I mean? It's not great. It's not great. Drinking water, of course, for custody court. All right, moving along. No, but so they shot him down. That's what we hear. And he's like, it's a little bit of luck, and that's kind of the narrative. But the question is, what the hell was the plane doing there? Like, no one really asked that question of like, why was there two questions I have for you. One, why was the F-15 flying there in this remote area? Okay, there's nothing around. And there also happened to be a unused airstrip in the area. Like, you know, when these freaking cave people, as they tell us, such low IQ, they're building random airstrips in the middle of they don't even know where the people are. Their drones can hit Tel Aviv airport, but that's another story. But they can't find where their people are supposed to be. So they're living in caves. And then we find out that there's multiple planes shot down. Why was there so much anti-air reconnaissance and radar equipment from Iran in this one area? Enough that they were able to use ground, vehicular, and also surface-to-air missiles to take down not one, but several planes, which I want to remind you, I love this. It's like when you lose to to a bitch that you wanted to win in gambling. You're like, I didn't even try. I lost on purpose. When he said that we intentionally blew up our planes, it kind of reminds me of playing tag as a kid, and you finally get caught, and you're like, no, I quit. I'm not playing anymore. And it's like, no, you were about to lose and get tagged. You can't call out of the game now. When you're in a firefight with foreign enemies and all your planes get blown up, you can't say we won. It was intentional. No, something's happening here that I think we gotta break down for the audience. Why did this happen? Because I beg to differ that one soldier is worth so much. Because what about all the soldiers that already died? We didn't retaliate. You know how many soldiers died? They just blew up our base in Saudi Arabia the other day, this weekend. What did we do? We blew up a civilian bridge. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we did. The question is, why was this such a serious case? Did you hear about any of the other alternate explanations it came up from Russia, by the way, which is crazy that I'm saying Russia might be more reliable. But then it was confirmed by the funder of this show, Al Jazeera. Qatari money, thank you. No, if you ask James Lindsay, Qatar paid us. No, but it actually ended up getting confirmed by ex generals. Something else was going on. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't. Tell me more.
All right, so let's get into this. Let's jump into this story here, and we're going to talk about this. So, Trump wants you to think that this war is really about regime change. And actually, I'm glad that he's finally being honest what it's kind of about. Check this out, where he says, well, by regime change, we mean the gays need their poppers. Check this out.
They talk about, freedom for Iran. They don't tell you the real facts. Women, men, gays. How about gays for Iran? They kill the gays. They throw them off buildings. So I wonder what's going on. I can only say this. They want us to keep bombing, even if it jeopardizes, because their life is in much greater danger. They want freedom for Iran, but it's very hard for them to protest. I actually tell them, I said, don't go out. I fully understand. Nobody in this room would go out. I don't think there's any, because frankly, it's not a question of bravery. We're all brave, right? You're brave, I'm brave, we're all brave. But we're also intelligent. If you have people shooting at you, expert shots with the best rifles you can get, and hitting you right between the eyes every single time, and you're looking here and you're seeing and you're looking here.
All right, let me get your thoughts on this for a second, because we're going to explain what he did. Now he's saying you got to let the gays out. And by the way, I admit the gays are brave. It doesn't matter how many rockets are hitting Israel. Those Jewish gays, they are fucking each other in the club. Okay, those clubs are full. You ever seen those videos there? They're just like clubbing, and the kids are being blown up, and they're just like, it doesn't matter. One more fuck, one more life. Like, now you know why, right? Like, Queen, these people, they went out hard, literally, because these gays are ruthless. Okay,
well, thank God Trump is thinking about the gays in Iran.
Praise God.
I mean, someone has to save them. Thank God it's Trump.
God forbid the Muslims have a couple gays, you know?
That's right, yeah.
But like, that's what he's concerned about. And then now he's saying one thing. He's starting to slip here. He's like, oh, actually, the IRCG, the Iranian military, is actually very highly trained. They have the best weapons. They're very skilled. And I was told that they were durkas, right? Isn't that what they said? It's like even when you see our propaganda, they have women like turbans, and it's like you see the puppet strings, and you're in like Team America World Police. And now he's saying, actually, it would make sense you wouldn't want to go up against this military because they're actually extremely, skilled. That's kind of a contradiction here from him saying they're going to have this uprising against this crazy Ayatollah. He's saying, actually, now I get why you wouldn't want to do an uprising, because this military will smash your brains to bits. I feel like he's starting to let it slip that maybe there's an ulterior thing going on here. Maybe that we lied. Would you believe Trump would lie? Because someone in the chat just said, I can't believe Elijah turned out to be an anti-American dipshit. To be against the Iran war is the most pro-American thing you can do. Because to be pro-Iran war is to be pro-Zionist regime, which means it means to put your money and your resources into funding a operation that depletes our arsenal, depletes our war chest, destroys our economy, breaks our alliances, disrupts the global economy. Why? Because Israel needs southern Lebanon, and because Jews don't have enough land, okay? They don't have enough of your Jewish lawyer doesn't have enough of your money, okay? You need to pay another invoice. That's right, Robert. You thought your divorce was going to be cheap. Leibowitz needs a fucking $10,000 check. Get that shit in his bank account now, okay? Because he's got to pay someone back he scammed already last month. But the Jews need more and more and more and more, and so that we got to fight this war. And us saying we don't want America to lose, we want America not to fight it. which is different. But in this specific statement, he's saying actually these people are like kind of a formidable foe. And he even said, I wouldn't go out and protest. What the fuck is that? If you want people to have a regime change, you're the president of the United States of America, and you're coming out saying, I wouldn't even try to do a regime change myself. Is that really reassuring? I don't feel like it's reassuring.
I'm just so tired of us being worried about countries on the other side of this planet.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about Iran. I don't care about Ukraine. I don't care about any of these other countries. Look at America. We are turning into a third world shithole. I mean, I'm sitting here going to city councils and speaking up about an Indian takeover in one of the reddest counties in the United States, while people are talking about a war across the world that I really do not care about.
No, exactly. And you know why you don't care about it? Because Netanyahu himself admitted here, this is where we get into what really happened with the takedown of the pilot. Netanyahu finally admits something. Guys, this is breaking news. A Jew telling the truth. No, I'm totally joking. That was anti-Semitic. But here you go. Listen to this.
And this is the guarantee for our future. We are working on transforming Israel into a super nation in the region and globally. And we were able to do so thanks to our soldiers and our captains and all those who fought and those who died. And of course, thanks to your solidarity and your steadfast.
Okay.
Why didn't he name the Americans?
Yeah, who's he talking
Yeah.
about? He's talking about us, right?
Thanks to Israeli soldiers, but what about all the Americans that did that for you?
Sorry, Mark Levin said that there was an IDF soldier that helped rescue our pilot. That was cool. Let's not talk about the American intelligence Jews that were running that $7 million compound in San Diego, and they were doing hit jobs for Qatar. It's one big club, and you're not getting paid by Qatar. We got to re-raise that phrase. It's one big club, and Qatar's not paying you. And when Qatar pays you, it's American money going into your hands through Qatar, by the way. But he's saying, look, this is about us. It's about a greater Israel project. Right now, 1 million Lebanese are displaced, okay? I don't know if people saw this, because this goes into it. Did you see what they're doing in southern Lebanon?
No, I did not.
Okay, it's actually insane. And I rarely feel like I use the word insane. They are carpet bombing southern Lebanon to create a buffer zone, which they're now going to develop into their own property. And I have to say, watching our tax dollars explode like this, it's pretty remarkable, the technology. Look at this. Look at this.
I feel like you're describing Gaza 2.0 to me
Look at that.
right now.
Did you see that? Look at this. Look at this carpet bombing.
Wow.
Boom. Just taking out entire
Just
villages.
civilian neighborhoods. That's all civilian.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Look at that. For those that are audio only, you can get this on by tomorrow. The show's now going to be back on audio only on iTunes, Apple iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. So you can download that there. It'll be under Slightly Offensive or Rift TV. You can find it. But you look at that. These are civilian structures they're taking down. And the reason why we're going to connect this back to the pilot issue is because what we're fighting for is obviously Israeli dominance.
Yeah, greater Israel.
Greater Israel.
That last clip, it proves it. He says we want Israel to be a super nation. And how do you get that other than annexing more land? They have the IDF. They have patches on their arm of Greater Israel. It's the territory that they want to claim. The 10% of Lebanon is included in that.
Yeah. Can we go to the wide shot of him and I? I don't know if we've used that yet. Have we? There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
That's a nice shot. I didn't even know that. But I want your facial expression for a second. When you see that,
Yeah.
when you see that, if those that are audio only, they're carpet bombing. I don't know if that's detonations or aerial. I don't know, but either way, it's explosives. They're just wiping out neighborhoods. And by the way, if it is AI, I always tell people this in credit. If it is AI and I get it wrong, I'm afraid that the real thing's probably worse because AI doesn't include children's body parts flying. So, but I know 1 million have been displaced and they are taking these places out and they're open about it. We're realizing with this invasion that what we're doing is trying to make Israel stronger. And do you know what Israel needs? Do you know what Israel needs that they don't have? Do you know what they need? More nuclear weapons. Their first nuclear weapons, actually. They need nuclear weapons because they don't have them, right?
That's crazy.
They don't have nuclear. Do you think they have nuclear weapons?
I mean, if we have them, they have them,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Oh,
Because I mean, whatever is
Yeah.
ours is theirs. It feels like at this point.
no, there's nothing. You don't even use the phrase ours.
Yeah.
It's just theirs and theirs.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
theirs and theirs. Whatever is theirs, and whatever is theirs is here.
Whatever
but it's
is
theirs.
ours is theirs, and whatever is theirs is theirs.
Yeah, it's just theirs is theirs. And I'm not lying. Like, this is so crazy. I got this ad on my page here, on my X. Jews are doing Jew ads. It says, while my peers turned on Israel and the Jewish people, I became an unlikely inheritor of our ancient tradition. I am an October 8th Jew. Now we got Holocaust Jews, 7th Jews, 8th Jews. 9 Jews, and it says as an ad in the upper corner, they're just like, become a good Jew. And you're like, I feel like we were in 1984 where they're Holocaust, they're genociding people. And
I don't think we have it, but there was another clip of an Israeli Jew saying that she's a Holocaust survivor. She's like 28 years old or something. And I assume that can only mean October 7th, you know? They're calling it a Holocaust.
No, you never saw Rabbi Shmuley get harassed? That was a Holocaust as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Rabbi Shmuley got Holocausted every day in his comment section.
Every day of his life.
But to go back to this, you know, people take this lightly when I say, like, you know, genocide, or I use the phrase ethnic cleansing. That's what this is. When you are going into a region of Lebanese people who are Christians and Muslims, by the way, and you're carpet bombing and you're pushing them out, there's a word for that. It is ethnic cleansing. And then Cat Turd will come on and be like, well, Elijah's high IQ. Ethnic cleansing is 2 words. And you're like, hey, shut up, pussy. Literally. It's like, it doesn't matter. You're missing the point, dude. We're killing innocent people. We're destroying their homes, and it benefits us not at all. We will get into it in block 3, but it's like, when you see what's going on here in North Texas, when you see us being replaced by people named Babu Jakita, okay? I'm like thinking, what the hell is this? We got like a Super Saiyan mixed with a child's blabber. It sounds something like my son would make up at like 1.5 years old. He's like, blabber Nakita. And you're like, wow, he said something. Like, he's actually calling the owner of the restaurant over. He's pretty smart. We have this weird problem where Americans are becoming disenfranchised because everyone I'm talking to, maybe you're different than me, their lives are not great. Like,
and they're not getting better.
No,
either.
they're not. They're getting worse, progressively worse. We are a very progressive nation, a nation getting progressively worse. And unfortunately, with this new toll on Hormuz that Iran is placing permanently, it doesn't look like gas prices are going back down to $60 anytime soon. It doesn't seem like that at all. In fact, Benjamin is here, my friend from Australia, and he told me that, like, they're being told they have to stop all the construction projects in Australia. They don't have enough diesel, and they're being told to only drive 3 days a week already because they don't have enough reserves. There's only 2 ships headed over to Australia right now, and after that, they're all cut off. So they have 2 more weeks of fuel in Australia. And you're telling me, not only does this not benefit us, but it doesn't benefit anyone. Those are our allies. Australia's our allies, right? We gave them an E3 visa because a special visa, it's very hard to get over here. Unless your name is Francis Moon, I got you one. I can take it away. But also, I was going to say, on top of that, you go into this bullshit and you realize we gave them a visa because they fought with us in the Iraq coalition. These are our allies who went to war with us. What did Israel do? Said they weren't going to put boots on the ground if we went in. Why? Because their boots are on the ground in Lebanon to take more territory. This is a backwards war, and I will connect this back to the downed pilot, because it is a very bold assertion, a very big projection here from my own perspective on what I think is going on. But I'm just going to say, people are not doing well. People are mad. You see them in the city council meetings. This is a rich neighborhood. People should be happy. People should be satisfied. They're not happy and they're not satisfied because we're being fucked over by the people that are supposed to be looking out for us.
Yeah, no, I sent a tweet out like 2 weeks ago, and I asked people, what in your life has gotten better in the last 5 years? Tell me, because it's really nothing. Nothing has gotten better. Everything's gotten more expensive. Now we've like accepted inflation. The cost of our food is twice as much as it used to be, and our government is telling us they've fixed the inflation problem. I mean, we're the most divided we've ever been. Our cities don't even look like America anymore. There is nothing positive that the government has done for me in my life in the past 5 years.
And the boomers are going to such great lengths to defend Israel in this war still. And they seem not to care about all the effects that it's had on the youth and the country overall. I don't know if we have it somewhere in there in the economy section. There's it's projected gas prices. They're going to go up to allegedly $7.
Check that out. Is it a Calci thing here? Yeah, so gas prices are forecasted to hit nearly $6 this year, a record high, which whatever that number is, multiply it by 30, and that's what it costs in Los Angeles. Okay, so it's $6 nationally. It's going to be at $150 million. And, you know, how do I get that number? I also am a World War II historian. We're very good at just making up large numbers. You know what I mean? With no facts, we just make that shit up. No, so I bring this back here into what we're talking about, which I think is kind of remarkable, is that, let me see if I can find this. Bring it back to the story. I thought about something, because what people are suggesting here is that this this so-called rescue mission was actually a attempt to invade a bunker, possibly to take the uranium from the Iranians. Now, why would we want to take the uranium instead of destroy it? Well, is there someone in the region that maybe wants that uranium? Because we don't need that uranium that I know of at the moment. I believe that we're fine. I don't think we're building a lot of new nuclear plants. Anyone getting new land recently needs new nuclear power, needs new vessels. Let me think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the Mormons. The Mormons are behind this. It's true. Fuck the Mormons. They're just out here just buying shit. No, it's like who needs to build? Who wants to be? He said, "What? I want to be a superpower." Netanyahu said, "I want to be big." And what? How do you get like that? Land and power. Well, you don't have a lot of people.
And nukes.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So you need nukes.
That's right.
So you need uranium. And so I believe that this was a attempted invasion of a underground facility from what we've seen from reports from the DOD and the cover-up. A pilot was shot down in this attempt. And you go look at it, guys. B-2 bombers were involved. Bunker busters were involved. They were attacking other IRCG headquarters at the time.
Probably lost like $800 million in equipment to save.
I heard it was several $billion overall lost. Yeah,
maybe overall, but I heard 800 million just to save one person.
I feel like you guys are just telling me the plot line of Top Gun Maverick at this point. I mean,
it might as well.
That's all you're telling me right now.
Yeah,
yeah, it does, but it is in a lot of ways recognizable. If you come down here, don't forget, guys, if you want to join the community, shout out to everybody in the locals chat. Shout out to Real Dandy Andy, Schnellby, Vince Lasagna, and Real Dandy Andy. By the way, one of them's a family member. We won't go into it, but somebody in the locals is deployed on the Nimitz right now. You know, they're out there. And I have people that are deployed that are out there. And this is a very real threat. And if there's a ground invasion, remember, it's literally our own congressman, Lindsey Graham, who's like saying, you know, we need to make Karg Island, which is a small island off of Iran, like Iwo Jima, reminding you that, you know, again, I'm a historian from World War II, so I might be making this number up, but I think it was like 26 to 28,000 killed in Iwo Jima, something like that, like over 50,000 casualties. He's saying, look, we need to be willing to kill 26,000 of you. You first, Lindsey. I know he loves taking out little boys too. You know, he loves that. But I mean, he apparently likes taking them out overseas as well. And it's like you and the cave Muslims have a lot in common. The Bachi Bazi, that's a thing for them, you know? By the way, you're never...
That number was correct, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, pretty good. Well, apparently 271,000 it is then. No, but...
I thought it was 6 million.
Yeah, it was. It was.
When did it become un-American? Like, we're the ones that are being called un-American for not wanting to go to war, and all of our politicians want to just go to war across the world.
And boomers for some reason.
Yeah, that's a
what
whole...
What the fuck is even that about?
I don't understand it. It's,
why do they hate us, the boomers?
The brainwashing is real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is that?
What is that? No, seriously though.
Yeah.
Like, what is that actually? Why don't they care? I guess it's because their only form of media that they watch and consume is Fox News, Newsmax, CNN, MSNBC.
Did you just take Jesse Waters' name in vain?
I did.
I feel like that is so disturbing. No, it really is. Like people say this. Ready
He
for this?
seems to be kind of a little bit red pilled on this on some level. He's questioning his guests on why are we fighting this war exactly. And
have you seen the negative Cantle tilt on his family? It's crazy.
No, I haven't.
It's bad. Go look it up. He put a picture up of his family for like Easter, and it was like, what in the extra chromosome is happening in that bloodline? That's unfortunate.
Right.
Obviously, I'm not talking about his kids, but go look at the picture that his public. It is crazy. But these are the people telling you to fight a war. It's like, hey, buddy, the economy is down. Something's down there too.
And the soldiers don't even want to go. They're what did they do to the plumbing of the Nimitz? I think, right? It was the Nimitz.
That's what they said. You know.
Yeah, of course.
They
of course
clogged
that
the
was
plumbing.
intentional. Yeah.
Well, like this is what it is.
Oh, and Hegzeth, he recently stated that, I don't know, we might have that actually.
What section?
They canceled the Catholic Easter service.
Yeah, we do have that
because the Catholic Church and the Pope came out against the war.
Well, yes.
And he said that Catholics could be conscientious objectors, and Pete Hegzeth essentially got rid of that completely. You can't be a conscientious objector anymore if you're Catholic.
Well, absolutely. You saw James Fishback got denied at the door of Mar-a-Lago. Because
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. Because of his opposition to the Iran war, even though he was invited to a dinner. And, you know, the problem is this is going to offend a lot of people. We were talking about religion a little bit earlier, and I want to be careful here, right? Because my dad watches the show. Don't know why he does. I don't know why you do, but he does. And my dad is Protestant and he's a great guy. And, we're all humans. We all make mistakes. So Protestants make mistakes as well. And I think the problem with the Protestant faith is that it has been completely co-opted into a false theology that is one major theological point, is this idea of replacement theology, is that
it's mostly evangelical.
Yeah, evangelical Protestant, the non-denominational. They believe that, for some reason, like there's something more special about the Jewish people than Christians, which there is that they were the line of Abraham to bring Jesus, and now they're the synagogue of Satan, which God hardened their hearts, it says, and they're being used by the devil to bring in the Antichrist. And I'll say that to an evangelical's face, and they'll be like, yes, isn't that exciting? And you're like, no, it's not. It's not exciting at all, bringing the Antichrist. And what's happening is that from Paula White on to Pete Hegseth's pastor, they're bringing these evangelicals right now to pray for the military. Do you see this clip? This is in the White House. Is this the White House? I think it's in the White House. Can you bring this up real fast? This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in the last 11 minutes. But check this out.
Are wanting to kill every Jew, woman, child, and do it all in one day. But you raised up Esther to save the Jewish people. Father, we thank you. Today, the Iranians, the wicked regime of this government, wants to kill every Jew and destroy them with an atomic fire. But you have raised up President Trump. You've raised him up for such a time as this. And Father, we pray that you'll give him victory.
Yes.
Father, we pray for our military, that you'd watch over, protect them.
Yes.
Father, we pray for the people of Iran who want freedom to be set free from these Islamic lunatics. Father, we thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, who came to this earth to take our sins, that he died and shed his blood on a cross for our sins, that he was buried. He took our sins to the grave, but you raised him to life. And Father, we thank you and we praise you and we give you the glory. Father, protect President Trump. We pray this in Jesus' name.
I think that guy needs another private jet. Can you guys give offerings?
Yeah, right
Get that
after
man
this,
a Gulfstream.
Right after this or right before this, I forget her name. I'm just going to call her
Paula White?
Yeah, is that her name on the
Yeah.
right?
Can you take the watermark off real fast there? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. And then she compared Trump to Jesus Christ shortly after this or shortly before this.
That's beautiful.
I don't think we have it.
We don't have it.
We don't have that
But
one.
like, isn't that crazy? It's like God appointed Trump to kill every Iranian because they're trying to atomically fire the Jews. And you're going, do you know like half of American Christians believe this?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not an attack on evangelicals. I'm just going to say that when you don't understand how much God loves you, and you think that the people who killed Jesus Christ their blood is what makes them, how could you not then endorse white supremacy? Like, I swear they're like the Wignats of the faith, the evangelicals are, because they're just like I get where they're coming from.
Yeah.
They just have the wrong like backing where they're like
Interpretation.
they're like literally said that their genetics make them the best, and then they'll come and condemn like white supremacy and the Ku Klux Klan. They're like the Jewish KKK at this point. They're literally you know that's what they believe. They believe that like that there's some reason they're still God's chosen people, even though like literally every apostle pretty much that's prominent says like, no, it's not true. And they killed the prophets before Christ, and that their hearts are hardened and they rejected Christ. And yes, there will be a redemption one day for 144,000 or something like that. But
Yeah, well, John Mearsheimer, is that his name? Yeah, John Mearsheimer and Stephen Walt in the book called The Israel Lobby, they talked about this actually, and they said that the evangelicals, I've mentioned this on a previous show, but it's kind of important. The evangelicals believe that they are the main character and that the Jews are they're like a side character that's meant to usher in revelation so that they can be ascended and saved or whatever. And that's their angle, and it's always been their angle. I don't think they like revere the Jews the way that they say they do. I think it's more so we view them as pawns in our game, and the evangelicals think that they're the puppet masters, when in reality it's the opposite.
yeah, it's weird, right?
I'm glad I'm ignorant. I'm very ignorant when it comes to religion, right? I believe in God. I didn't grow up in a religious family, I guess, but like, it's just crazy how I'm listening to this dialogue from a person that's ignorant in it. It's just, people really like pride themselves in some stuff based off of history and books and religion. And I don't know.
And they're not even accurate. Do you see what P. Exis said? Look at this. Check this out.
Shot down on a Friday, Good Friday, hidden in a cave,
Oh, this is good.
a crevice, all of Saturday, and rescued on Sunday. Flown out of Iran as the sun was rising on Easter Sunday. A pilot reborn, all home and accounted for, a nation rejoicing. God is good. Shot
He
down
compares the pilot to
Makes me
Jesus.
on a
sick.
Friday.
It makes me sick.
I can't take this stuff seriously.
Also, if you're Orthodox, it would be Palm Sunday.
That's right.
Because our Easter's a week later.
And
It
I
is
love
Palm
how it's
Sunday.
every video we've watched from the White House is like, download the White House app.
Yeah, download the White House app so you can get Paula White telling you for just $10 you can. Have you seen Paula White's videos? This is Trump's spiritual
Yeah.
advisor.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to play something for you guys. It's not in here, so it's going to take me a second.
Those are some of the craziest videos I've seen
Let me see
in
if I
the,
can bring
in the
this
last
up.
11 minutes.
Yeah, in the last 11 minutes. See, like I see so much insane stuff every day. Let me see if I can get. Oh yeah, here. Look at these videos. This is Trump's spiritual advisor here. Check this out.
Because I'm telling you, there's an anointing of release right now. I want $100,000 to come in. I want $100,000. There are 10 people that could give $10,000. There's
straight to
100 people that
Israel.
could give $1,000. Get a check, make it payable to Paula White Ministry. There are people that are watching right now. If you say, I don't have it, give $100. Bring up a sacrificial seed. This isn't for me. This is about kids that will die without you being obedient. This is about kids who are going to be minstrels and instruments and warriors and mighty for God. This is about kids who will make a difference.
Can we just take away microphones from women in general?
Yes,
Sorry,
St. Paul would agree.
I would just say this. I even put that out a tweet. They did really well. Trump's looking between Alina Baba or whatever. I'm like, isn't that Prince Ali? Isn't that from Aladdin? Is Prince Ali Baba? That's our new AG. What the hell's going on? Maybe we got Blanche right now or whatever. But it was like Alina Baba or like Janine Piero. I'm like the Fox News host, and you're looking at this and you're going, I go, can we just why is Trump obsessed with appointing women? And I noticed this contradiction in Trump is, on Easter, do you see that crazy tweet he put out? He's like, fucking open up the Strait of Hormuz.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
He chose his side.
cursing like that on Easter, American Easter, the egg Easter, as we call it in this studio, the egg hunt Easter, that is like a little bit sacrilegious, especially as a political leader. If you're a comedian or something, you want to make that joke. That's hilarious. But, you try to bring the country together. When I saw Mamdani in New York, the Muslim mayor wishing everyone a happy Easter because Jesus Christ rose from the dead, and then watching the Christian president say, fucking open up the strait, bitches. I wish he drank. It would explain everything, but he doesn't. That would be me on a Sunday. Like, hey, bitches, get the fucking open, and you're like, praise Allah. But that's what they call boomers, kaboomers, because they love war. But it's like, you go down, and one thing I noticed is like, he's very, very, very serious when he comes to talking about Judaism, and is very like, very devout about it, how important Judaism is, how important rabbis are. He doesn't really seem to care about Christianity. Of course, not Islam at all. I'm not like pro-Islam. I don't think Islam really has much of a place in the United States of America. But over there, they can be Muslim. That's their place. We've been fighting them back for centuries. Stay back, and we're taking Constantinople back. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. We're taking our biggest Orthodox church back. It's not a mosque. Okay. Okay. How do you pronounce it? Hagia Sophia, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't
Hagia
pronounce
Sophia.
it. Yeah, there you go. It's church. Their biggest mosque is a church. The Muslims stole our church.
True.
And God's going to get it back. But on the flip side, you look at all this stuff, and it's like, I feel like this is the contradiction in the Trump administration. When it comes to what Israel and Judaism, he's very respectful, very powerful. When it comes to our people, it's just like, look, we can't afford daycare. We can't afford, all these things. We can't afford health care. Stop complaining. He's cool also to talk about black people and his black voters, but what about his white voters? What about the white people?
What about his Catholic voters? They
That's true.
The whole religion. What's that team
Catholics.
called? The religious assembly or whatever.
Yeah, the religious rights and freedoms.
Yeah. They kicked all the Catholics out because they were against the war. So there's no Catholics on that.
Really? I thought they only
at
kicked
all.
one.
No, I think it's all of them. Yeah, I know they recently just kicked one, but it was a few since that was established, since it was created.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, it does make me wonder when Stephen Miller does not wish everyone a happy Passover, but like Trump and the White House are very keen on making it very holy. The Christians are wishing happy Passover, cursing on Sunday. No, I'm talking about Passover, like before, it was like the day before, whatever, to the Jews, happy Passover or whatever. And then the Christians are cursing, mocking Muslims. Two religions that respect Jesus Christ. There's only one of the three things Jesus is burning in feces and semen. That's what they believe. That's what the Jews believe in the Talmud, that Jesus is burning in semen and shit. And they say it to Christians all the time in Israel, like, your God's in semen and shit. And you watch the videos like, we killed him and we're happy about it, we do it again. So they believe that, and at least Muslims respect Jesus. They have a wrong deification of him. I don't think the theology is correct. But you have two religions that respect Jesus. He mocks them. And then when he brings Christians around him, it's Christians who are just they love money and love Jews. And I feel like that's a mockery because they're all just about money. And it's sort of distasteful to me if you're like telling people, God's going to bless you if you give me money. The prosperity gospel is wrong. And then you take war that is an unrighteous war that we're fighting, and you compare a Pilate to Jesus Christ. This is a fanatical cult. This is not Christianity in my personal assertion. And I think that any real Christian out there, and I mean this, even if you're not like practicing the faith, but you studied history, would know Jesus was not about asking for money, blowing people up. You know, he would, the Jews should have killed the prophets. They should have killed people that were corrupting the religion. Instead, they corrupted the religion and they killed the people trying to reform it, Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very uncomfortable with this, and I'm very uncomfortable. And I believe Mark Levin when Mark Levin says that Trump is the first Jewish president. Okay. He said that and Trump liked it. Does that have any significance though? Like where do we draw the line there? I'm going to get in more in trouble. You're already in huge trouble, but it's like, where do we draw the line there in the fact that we are an occupied nation? We are occupied by a foreign government, and its people were sent here by England in the 1800s, and they infiltrate our institutions. And it's just like, if you want to look at porn or get a legal document or anything, you got to go through these people first. We're alone. They own our cities. They own our banks. They own us. And it's like, I don't know if America even exists if our own president and our Christianity, our faith and our political identity is also defined by Judaism, by Zionism, and a love for Israel. Do we have anything left? No wonder why they're selling out Dallas, because we don't have anything. And why do they want to bring in Indians? One of the main reasons is because they're loyal to Israel. You know that's why.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, that's one of the main reasons, because the biggest defenders in the world of Judaism are Hindus. It's the number one religious supporting nation.
That's true.
And Indians are brown Jews. They have the same cultural ideas of scamming and things. Like, I'm not saying all Jews or all Indians are like this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that everybody with brown skin or a hook nose is like abhorrently evil. I'm just saying they all are. No, I'm totally joking. No, but I'm saying obviously I'm not doing a blanket racial statement here. What I'm saying is that the negative stereotypes of Jewish culture are replicated in Indian culture, and the Indians like to replicate after they look up to the Jews, and their ultimate sexual fantasy is a large-breasted Jewish woman. This is not a joke. They go in their chat rooms and stuff. You thought of transgender chat rooms, furry chat rooms were scary? Those are what I go to every day.
Isn't that all of our dream?
Yeah. All of our dreams are big breasts. No, but I said these are serious talks we want to talk about. The reason why do you think, as we'll talk about right now, why do you think Greg Abbott says this is always going to be an Indian community? It's because he is a Zionist, and he banned Gab, and he said this is a sanctuary for Jewish people. And Indians, the white people, are mad. It's not because they're anti-Semitic. It's because we don't like hurting our communities and our people at the hands of Jewish supremacy. And Indians are like, well, we'll work for cheaper and we'll support your international policy agenda. And that is what I believe I've seen is the number one reason why our politicians are allowing Indians to invade across the world, is in order to temper down the pro-white Christian base to bring in demon-worshiping individuals, right? Judaism is a demonic religion of the devil after the temple was destroyed, and Hinduism is the worship of demons. That's what it is. And that's why if you worship demons for several thousand years, you too will drink piss in your home, okay? But I mean, no one's talking about the religious aspect of this whole diaspora. Does it kind of make sense to you, considering that our whole foreign policy is based on a weird religious cult? Maybe our immigration policy is too.
Yeah, no, I've been a big believer in Western culture. Christian culture is under attack from all sorts of different angles. I even talk about how the transgender agenda is, focused on attacking Western culture. And so it does not surprise me to hear the ties of, Indians and Israel.
Yeah. So talking about that, how are things doing at home here? Let's talk about this. Unusual Wells was pretty accurate here on studies on the economy, is that Trump wants to add nearly $7 trillion. It's just bing, bong, bong, bing, 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 bong. 7 billion, trillion, million. It's big numbers. Like, I don't even know.
It's already 39 trillion. And I believe earlier.
Who owns the debt? Who are we in debt to?
Well, everyone knows. But last, in the beginning of the
Who
year.
are we in debt to, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just made up money. It's monopoly at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's slavery.
Yeah.
It's that when we say debt, it means Americans are slaves to somebody.
Yeah. They want to crash the US dollar so they can bring us a digital currency.
Yeah, the debt is already, it's about to be our biggest expense every year, yearly. It's about to be our biggest expense beyond the military. Well, I guess maybe not anymore now that the budget is 1.5 trillion. We actually have this pulled up. Let's pull it up.
Yeah, I don't know if you can read that from there.
this.
Can you read this, Mark?
Yeah.
Read what it says here for the people that are audio.
Don't read
only.
it all.
No, but just so some of these. We'll read like the first 15. Read this.
Yeah, so Trump is seeking to pay for his new $1.5 trillion military budget by cutting the following. He's going to cut $510 million of grants for farmers and agricultural research.
Fuck
Seems
the farmers.
That's important, dude. I want to go $240 million for school meals and food education for children abroad.
I don't even know what that means.
Children abroad? Why are we even spending money on that?
I don't even know.
$659 million cut to community building grants.
We call that a nigga tax.
Jeez, what is
I'm so sorry.
Oh, what's the billions? $1.6 billion in weather forecasting, fisheries, and coastal protection.
Whoa.
That kind of seems important.
Yeah, that's not good.
Is the FAA in here anywhere? Do we have
probably 993 million for scientific research and technology standards?
2.2 billion broadband and internet access programs.
8.5 billion for public schools.
T-Mobile's gonna hate
8.5
that
billion for public schools. That's a big deal.
15
They already
Look
suck.
at this. We're cutting $15.2 billion for roads, bridges, and infrastructure projects. Our roads and bridges are shit in this country. We see them like fall apart on, viral videos like every couple months.
They're cracking. I swear Texas has
the one in
bridges.
Austin.
Well, there's bridges to nowhere here. You ever see half completed bridges? I mentioned last time, it's like they need to film the next Fast and Furious. Actually, I don't know what there's more of, victories in Iran, Wars One, or Fast and Furious movies, but we're getting close between the two.
I think we've surpassed the Fast and Furious franchise.
If I go into Fast and Furious, if I hear
have
this
at least
phrase,
20 wins by now.
do you know what now? You know what now? We need to link them together, because I feel like the wars are like Fast and Furious, because every Fast and Furious can be summarized like this: I don't race no more. They took her though. You gotta do one more ride. I don't want to do one more ride, but you gotta get her back. They got billions and billions, and you could be rich. Okay, I'll do one more ride, and that's the whole Fast and Furious movie, and that's what it feels like. It's like, hey, they got the more weapons of mass destruction. Are you ready to get behind the wheel? They're so desperate in Fast and Furious. They're CGIing, Paul Walker back into videos. Yeah. We got fake Netanyahu CGI videos of 25 fingers. I mean, it's like, what are we at? Fast and Furious episodes, wars, and the fingers on Netanyahu's hands are all increasing at numbers that we can't keep track of. It's crazy. It is literally nuts. And I just have to ask the question here. What the fuck?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, what is that? What are we doing? It's like Tucker Carlson, huh?
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's crazy. I just want to say anything but releasing the Epstein files.
Yeah.
And we're never getting the facts about that because they just fired the attorney general.
Yeah, tell them about that. Did you hear this weird timing thing here? We're going to switch over to immigration in a second. Listen to this. Listen to what he says.
Yeah, there was a hearing for Pam Bondi. I think it was like the 14th of this month. She was supposed to have a hearing about the Epstein files, and she gets fired right beforehand. And now the new guy is saying, I know nothing about that, essentially. Like, oh, that was before my time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a cop-out. And no one seems to be calling it out for some reason.
Yeah, so she's
so
just
that hearing
scapegoat.
is not going to happen because she doesn't have the job anymore.
Yep.
So goodbye to the Epstein files. Goodbye to mass immigration. Goodbye to the border wall.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? We don't even have accountability for COVID. Like, that's one of my biggest beefs is because that's like, I've been speaking up how T-Mobile violated my rights with the vaccine mandates, and like, what's up with Fauci? Where's that dude at? He's just hanging out with all the millions of dollars that he's got.
He got pardoned.
You know, and
he's chilling.
All of them. There's zero accountability for anything related to COVID. And I guess I'm the dumbass for thinking that somebody would actually be held accountable.
Yeah. Wishful thinking.
Well, Trump was behind it all.
Yeah.
Like Operation Warp Speed.
Yeah. And speaking of bing bong bong, that's how the last 6 years of my life has just been bing bong bong. And people start getting mad at me. This is what I don't understand about our side. I just want to do a little statement here. Our side is the most retarded people in the entire history of the world because there's like real problems going on, right? Like real problems.
It's our
going
empathy.
on.
Our empathy did it to us. It was used against us, and we're the only group that has this. It's just expansive. Our feelings for these people, and
no, but not even that. I'm saying our side is so easily distracted by shiny coins.
Yeah.
You know, they always use the example of, if you put a penny in front of a kid and $100 bill, they go after the penny because it's shiny and they don't understand the value of money. You know, I am shocked. I remember there was this one prominent gay Jew who was trying to come after me. I go, do you know we're in a war with Iran, faggot? Do you understand we're at war with Iran? Like, you're literally, who gives a shit? Somebody just came after me recently with a hit piece. And I was like, cool. Anyways, 137 schoolgirls were just killed by a Patriot missile. And you want to know where my dick has been? It's a very interesting, my Tomahawk missile should be none of your concern. Where was the one you bought with your tax dollars? Okay. It's a very interesting thing that we have in this culture where people get distracted.
Yeah.
Right. And look, I'm not in the Epstein files. Okay. I'm not perfect, but I'm not in the Epstein files. Okay. I'm in the Diddy files. Okay. No, but it was baby oil. Okay, but anyways, I love how you put GHB and baby oil containers. That was awesome. Joking. But the point is our side gets so sidetracked. It's like you saw all these individuals, like Gunther Eagleman being like, no war with Iran. You know, you have Tulsi Gabbard running on no war with Iran t-shirts. And then we go to war with Iran. It's like, that's 5D chest. It's 6D chest. You're like, hey, once the titties get too high of D's, they're not pleasurable anymore. I don't want that big of D's, okay? Give me the double D's and we stop there. I'm telling you the truth. What the fuck do you think is going on here? Okay, we're not fighting Magnus. This isn't a game of chess. We are actually in a war of attrition for Jewish blood libel. And the white race lost World War II, and now our cities are being flooded with third world immigrants, and we have had no say in it. And you're over here like being like, dude, isn't it so crazy? Megyn Kelly said that Mark Levin has a micro penis.
Yeah.
I wish you died in the Holocaust because I don't want to hear your shit anymore. Okay, and obviously that's a joke because nobody died. No, I'm kidding. Okay, but the point is I don't want anyone to die. I get so tired of this.
Yeah.
There's
Our
a question
side is
as
stupid.
to,
Our side is retarded. It's like, I'm just saying, like, we had the chance. We were getting the whole shit moving here, and then
or so we thought.
We were getting traction, and then all of a sudden, you have the ADL forcing the sell of TikTok with Jonathan Greenblatt, and then that gets taken down, and then you have the encryption moving off of Instagram and the mass censorship on Instagram and Facebook and Meta again, and then you have YouTube restricting videos of Nick Fuentes again, and then you go down, and then it's now you have the IRAH or IRHA, I think, I forget which one, Holocaust Association, whatever it is. Now you have San Diego. It's now illegal to criticize Netanyahu in San Diego. You have cities, and you have the director of the Department of Homeland Security, or previous one, whose husband just likes to wear big tits. Okay, whatever. Free country.
The really obvious question is, did Trump ever actually intend on following through on any of these things, or was this the plan from the start?
It's all a hustle. Yeah. It's a narrative. They create narratives because it's easy to distract this side and to put a new shiny coin in front of this group. And then they use, I've said X is one of the greatest social engineering tools ever created because that they just can change the topic instantly. And there's a whole group of people that will go push these narratives to make you forget about what happened 2 weeks ago.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And everyone gives him so much credit. They're still defending him to this day. And, my question would be, can you name off the top of your head to the audience, can you name one thing that Trump has actually done for you and followed through on that you appreciate? I can't think of any. I voted for him twice, and there's not one thing I can think of that he actually delivered for me as a voter.
The only thing people will tell you is things that have been told to them from other news sources. But at the end of the day, it goes back to what I said earlier. how has your life gotten better in the past 5 years? And you can't describe anything that the system made your life better. You may have made your life better by making different life choices or doing something, but the government has done nothing to help us.
No.
And let's get into this. So let's check in back at home here for a little bit, okay? This is our home. I've lived in and out of Frisco, Florida, and Australia over the last 10 years, and LA. Most recently, I spent the last few years, up until very, very recently, living in Florida. That's been my home, the home of my kids, the home of my family, where all my business is still registered, everything's still there. I haven't really crossed anything over to this state yet. So this is brand new. We're just here, I just got here, just kind of like got in, haven't even got my ID yet. I'm not a resident of Texas yet legally or anything like that. But I used to be years and years and years ago. But as a Florida resident, I'm coming in and I'm like, okay, yeah, but let me get back to where Texas was when there was maybe 10 or 15%, South Asians, as we're calling them now. They're just Indians and Pakistanis. And I was thinking that that's where we're getting back to from 2020, because of course Florida's already lost. I lived in Boca Raton, the mouth of the rat, 52% Jewish. And I'm used to that. So I get back here and I find out we're in a whole fucking pile of shit. Okay. So much so that the Jews are now saying that Jesus is dying in North Dallas. There's so much shit and semen on the streets by these crazy people. That's what they're saying in the Talmud these days. They're translating that to North Dallas. Let's get into immigration. We're going to go into a segment we're going to regularly be covering with Mark and others about what's going on in Texas. Let's get into it. All right, getting into this, check this out. So a video popped up from last year from our governor, Greg Abbott, also known as Hot Wheels. He said he'll stand up for you, but he can't stand up for himself. But he, that is an ableism joke. He just won 90% of the Republican vote because I think Republicans are unaware of how bad things are up here in Dallas, Texas. This is where JFK was killed. This is where the Jews started their war of attrition and where apparently they are ending it. Here's what he said in a gathering. Check this out.
As long as I'm governor of this great state, Texas will be a land for the Indian community, a land for and we will continue to celebrate Diwali here in the great state of Texas. So happy Diwali, everybody.
To Diwali? What is that? Okay, let's start here.
That is some bullshit.
Let's start here. Mark's got some opinions. Mark, let's go to T-Mobile. Let's start with let's find out what that means, okay? All of us, let's just say we want to be a boomer. Let's get boomer brain on for a second. Like, oh yeah, I don't want to judge people. I don't want to be an asshole, okay? Because you are what you eat. And I don't want to be one. I'm okay being an asshole though. But most people don't. And you're going, these Indian people, like they say, they're hardworking. They're scamming the SBA loan system and whatever. But okay, let's not talk about that. They're genuinely quiet neighbors until they're not. And now they're starting to get a little loud. They're starting to clog the aisles. They're starting to replace our grocery stores. They're starting to replace our restaurants.
The In-N-Out lines.
The In-N-Out lines.
Grilled cheeses.
Yeah, they're ordering grilled cheeses at In-N-Out.
Very specific orders as well.
Yeah, and they always ask about everything, and it's got to be vegetarian, and it's just fucking annoying. Just don't go there, dude. Just don't go there. Don't India my In-N-Out. But it's getting to a point where we're starting to realize that idea isn't just that we just have a couple brown people that eat curry that live around us. That bringing in the Indian community, it's very specific, isn't meaning that we're having people from India become Americans. We are importing the Indian communities. We are importing the Indian lifestyle, the Indian culture. And let's talk about it at a corporate level. You experienced that. And not only were you betrayed by people like your governor here, you're betrayed by the establishment conservative media who themselves are banking off this shit and these companies. And they've been silencing you for a while. And I feel like you've been getting vindicated, maybe a little too late, explaining on what exactly is happening. So tell me about this.
Yeah, no, I'm, to catch people up on my story, I'm a 42-year-old lifelong Texan turned T-Mobile whistleblower. I worked there for 17 years. I left my career so I could expose how corporations are destroying our country from within. I even turned down my $150,000 severance because it included an NDA in it. And, you know, I've exposed a lot of crazy information about T-Mobile. I would say that there is no American that has exposed a Fortune 100 company like I've exposed. T-Mobile discriminates against white Christian males with diversity, equity, inclusion. They provided unlimited money for transgender surgeries while they limited benefits for other things. They censored text messages during COVID. That I'm thankful the Gateway pundit actually reported this story about me because their links were being blocked. If I sent you a text message with a link talking about the vaccine efficacy might not being 100%, T-Mobile just decided their customers didn't need to receive that text message. That is tyranny. Facebook and Google were held accountable for their censorship, but T-Mobile gets away with it. And I watched, now I've been out of T-Mobile for a few years, but what I've been exposing, in 2025, T-Mobile spent $81.5 million on salaries to H-1B employees, to foreigners. Why are we paying $81.5 million to salaries to foreigners while T-Mobile is also laying off Americans? And, coincidentally, as of November last year, T-Mobile now has an Indian CEO. It is crazy how many Indian CEOs there are in big tech, in Fortune 100 companies.
They fire everybody else. That's the problem. They have an in-group preference.
Yep.
Right. And it's like
the caste system. People are talking about how the caste system is alive in these businesses.
They have conferences now for the certain caste, right? Everyone wants to be the Brahmin, but the Brahmin aren't really leaving. They're not really leaving. They're investing here, but it's the other ones, right? It's what are the other ones? Like the poop 3, poop 2, poop 1. No, the Sikhs are not part of the caste.
Well, they're coming too.
But the Sikhs are they're in an ethnic war with the Punjab. They don't believe themselves to be Indians.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're both coming in the same, aren't they?
You telling me there's Sikhs that live in our neighborhood?
Too many, way too many.
Yeah, I'm not seeking them out. They're seeking me out. You know what I mean?
Frisco is unrecognizable at this point.
It's scary.
This place has changed. Like you said, you left and you came back. Frisco over the past 5 years is a completely different Frisco. And, it's obviously apparent. I mean, we're going viral by talking about what's going on in Frisco. There's a lot of people that reach out to me. They thank me for speaking up about this topic. There's people that are saying their kids are going to school and 80% of the kids that go there are Indians. There's a Frisco high school now that's not going to have a football team. Like
really?
This is Texas. This is Friday Night Lights. How does a high school not have a football team?
Yeah, that is very concerning. I know you just did a very big video with Tyler Oliveira. That's how you pronounce his name, right?
Yep.
Oliveira. And it's weird because, we see that Leering Center in, Minnesota. And, look, I want to give that guy some credit. What's his name again?
Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley. Yeah. He's, some of his stuff, it's like, I do like the media making fun of it, where it's like that guy I love what Newsom put up. It's like a kid with like 50 cameras taped to his head. He's like, "Can I come in here and see your kids?" And the girl's like, "No." He's like, "You must be frauding people." And all like cameras to film kids. No, so some people give him shit. I think Nick Shirley's good. I think he's doing a general good for the government. I don't think he's in. I think he's showing what he's doing, but that's different because that's like ethnic things within the ethnic community. What's happening here is that we are seeing a massive fraud, and our government isn't calling it out. When Nick Shirley showed what's going on in Minnesota, our government's like, "Oh, cool. Oh, it's horrible. We got to send in the FBI for like 2 days or something like that." And then, obviously, the acting director there of Homeland Security had to get back to, swap out her husband's fake tits. So they had better priorities. Talk about a real scam. But the problem with this one is this one is sponsored by the GOP. This one is, no one's talking about this video. No one's talking about Tyler's video with the government because this is their Ponzi scheme.
Greg Abbott's full-throated endorsement.
Yeah.
And that's why they, no one gives a shit about the little country Somalia. Like, let's just be real. They're not a big player in the world. India is a big player in the world.
One of the biggest.
And they're partnered with our federal government and our state government.
They're top 5 biggest economies, right?
Yeah,
overall,
and they're part of BRICS. You know,
not per capita.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. These guys are posturing a whole new, superpower of countries, and India owns us from within. And that's one thing. What I've been talking about the Indian takeover and Indian donors in Frisco since August last year.
I remember.
I have countless now viral videos on X of me roasting the Frisco City Council and talking about this stuff. Why are none of these conservative politicians helping me? I've shown how now I'm being targeted by Indians. I'm getting over 30 spam calls a day. I had Indians show up at my house. Why are these Texas politicians not helping me? Why are they not acknowledging me?
Let's watch this. This is what it's like every day. Check this out.
I'm the manager, right?
What visa are you on?
I'm on a work visa. No students here.
No? I was told on good authority there may be some F1 employees here being paid under the table illegal rates. Is that true or false?
This is Argyle, Texas, a tiny, semi-rural Texas suburb where Indians are seemingly spawning out of thin air. But how and why are they coming here?
Where are you from?
I'm from India.
India.
I'm from Nepal. I'm here almost 13 years.
How did you get here? On F1, O1, H1B?
F1.
H1B. I came here on F1, but then I converted to H1.
No, I'm student.
F1 student?
Yeah.
I'm a TN visa. I'm from Canada. I'm permanent.
Okay, so your green card?
Yeah. I came on the work permit.
Are you here on H1B?
No.
Citizen?
Yep.
Did you come as H1B, F1?
H1.
How long did it take to get naturalized?
Close to 19 years.
So you went from India, F1, H1, green card?
Yeah.
Most people who come here on an F1 have the intention to get an H1?
Yep.
How hard was that process?
It was cool, actually.
So this is a meme right now. Please be patient, student driver. Are you a student driver?
No, I'm not.
Why do you have the student driver sticker?
No, why are you taking video?
I have a sticker which I put it inside
You have a student driver sticker?
That's for my girlfriend, so.
Is that your sticker?
Yes. Kids sometimes cries.
What's your objectives after you study? Are you going back to Hyderabad? Are you going to stay here for a while?
Going back to Hyderabad.
Going back?
I'm gonna go back.
You have family over there?
Yeah.
Basically, at the end of the day, our family is important, right? Our family is in India. That is the reason I'm trying to go back.
Are you from India originally?
Yeah.
What do you do for work?
I don't have any work. I'm searching for work. I'm in construction. I work in IT. Software? I work for American Electric Power. Software. I'm a software engineer.
What's the biggest industry out here?
IT industry, yeah.
Why are Indians so good at software engineering?
That takes a lot of math,
Brain power?
physics.
Did you get a college education in India or the USA?
India.
And is your dream to get an H1B?
Yeah.
And then maybe citizenship?
Yeah, maybe.
What visa are you on? F1, H1B, O1?
Do I need to specify that?
Yes, if you could.
That's my wish.
I imagine you're on not an F1 if you're working, right?
Oh.
Are you Indian?
No, I'm from Pakistan.
What did you come here as?
Hell yeah.
in
A real
1970.
American.
I was 19-year-old.
Wow.
It was real America at that time.
You got to tell me, as a Pakistani, why are there so many Indians here?
I don't know. They come on IT for IT job and things like that.
You work with a lot of OPT, F1s?
Yeah.
Yeah? A lot of illegal F1 students working when they shouldn't be, right?
They don't even pay right price. How much? Like hours and hours. They pay low here.
They pay low here. Should I expose them? Let's go confront them.
That's like
Manager
right here.
Manager over here?
Yeah.
Thank you. Are you the manager? What visa are you on?
I'm on a work visa.
I'm here to ask you, are you paying F1 students illegal rates?
No students here.
No? You have paperwork?
Yes.
Yeah, you pay them legal rates? Are you sure?
Yes,
Or is it
we can
false?
talk outside.
So you're not employing any F1 students?
No.
Swear on your mother's name?
Why you are asking like that question?
Oh.
Do you illegally pay F1 students? Yes or no?
Tell him to swear on a
Okay, fine.
cow. Tell him to swear on a cow, bitch.
Swear on cow piss and shit.
Tell him. Swear on never eating cow shit and drinking cow piss again. He'll be like, oh my God, I do not know. But it's like, dude, what's happening is, and this is where the same cocksuckers who accuse us of being anti-Semitic or hating all Jews when we criticize Israel or Jewish supremacy are the same people that are like, oh, so you're just racist. Well, first of all, yes, I am, but that's not illegal. You're not, I am. But also on the flip side, what does racism mean? And I like what one of the guys said that he interviewed. It's like, well, I'm racist based upon whatever the modern projection of the word is, which is like, if you do not assimilate and you're not in my culture, then I do not want you here. But also, I don't think some people can assimilate. That's why I don't want certain people here, right? Like, so I'm not against immigration or foreigners because I don't think like Hermes, who's here. I mean, Hermes is like one genetic codon away from a monkey. You know what I mean? That's as close to monkeys as I get. He's Slavic, and I'm totally joking.
He's Lithuanian.
He's Lithuanian. Oh, what is he? He's Lithuanian? No, it's a joke. So people give him shit because he's like, you're not white. I don't like those arguments. You look white, you're white.
Yeah.
But like a Lithuanian comes here, it's not a very hard integration, right? But even then, sometimes you see like Eastern Europeans do have a little harder time integrating than Western Europeans in the fact that, you know, it's like, yes, I do like it here, you know, and you're like, okay, that's a little bit of a weird accent and it's a little strange, and you don't have any emotion. Why are your girls hot, but I can't have a conversation with them? It's perfect. Hot, quiet, can't talk to them. That's great. Okay, no, but jokes aside, it's like there is a difference. And you'll say, what do you mean you just want white immigration? It's like, well, what I want is a culture of assimilation. And there always was a small amount of people, like that guy who was Pakistani, who said he came here when he was like 19 years ago, who was like, when it was still America, even he knows that these people are not American, that they're not integrating into America. And what's happening here is, you know that it's not just brute hatred of people because of the color of their skin, because there are Indians on our side. There are people that were here that you know may have been higher class, that were integrated with the British government, that seemed to assimilate well. They were like, hey, you know, maybe I get along better with the British society in India than I did with the, you know, Indian society, and I kind of want to live in the Western society. And there was a small percentage, and we didn't really pay attention. I always pointed out that there was always, in every city, there was like a strip mall that had like ethnic food. You know, there's like an Indian market, a Chinese market, you know, Taiwanese, Japanese, and you're like, okay, you know, there's a little bit of like a little bit here, you know, a little bit here. And then they build a 99 ranch market. And you're like, okay, well, it's kind of big. It's kind of a big building
And
for
you
people
go
that look
into
like you.
Costco. You go into Costco, it's like an Indian market here.
It's the Hindu Mecca.
Northern
It's their
Dallas.
black box. It's literally their
Very,
Saudi
very,
Arabia.
very bad.
Yeah.
But Mark, you were with Tyler, right, during these videos?
Some of these, and it was, you know, it was really eye-opening. I would say Tyler produced the most thorough expose on how H-1B is being used to influence this Indian invasion. There's another video he had where he was walking around to the temple asking people, you know, all these people are here on visas, and they're saying that they are more committed to motherland India than they are America. And like, that's the difference between that Pakistani guy. He moved here for the American dream. Like, that guy's going to call himself an American. But these Indians that are coming here, they have they don't want to assimilate to America. And that's really the big problem.
Well, what was your experience like filming that with him?
Man,
What'd you learn that you didn't maybe know before?
It was pretty awesome. It was, you know, going out into the field with him. I was thankful, you know, he invited me to go do that. He also went to the city council meeting that I filled up and documented that. You know, but it was really eye-opening going to visit these ghost offices, right? We show up to this, there's one down the street right from here. It's actually in Prosper, but it's an outdoor business community. There's, you know, 30 offices in there. 9 of them were offices that should have H-1B employees in them. 8 of them were empty, completely empty. The rent in this is $4,000 a month for this business, you know, office, and nobody's there. And the one guy that was there, you know, it was wearing Prada, had his Range Rover parked outside, had brand new TVs with plastic on it, had his like his documentation like plastered on the wall. Like, it looked like he was just waiting for someone like Tyler to come in and ask questions, right? And then the dude immediately rolled out after we were done talking to him. But it was
crazy.
There is so many, like, not only is H-1B facilitating the Indian invasion here, but it's also like propping up commercial real estate, which is crazy to think about.
Real point here. During I moved here during the time that there was a temporary halt on H-1Bs, and what was going on with the Trump government. And this house was like, my neighbor pays $5,000, the other one pays $4,900, and this house was listed for about $5,000 a month. And I got it for $3,600, and they couldn't rent it for 6 months because they said that there was just no more Indians coming in for that period. And so literally the house, I got 30% cheaper because there wasn't Indian immigration at the time. And now when the house next door we listed is 48, 49, because now they're bringing back up immigration or legal immigration. So that's the point, is that you're paying on average, at least in North Texas, at least 30% higher mortgage and rental rates because of immigration. I would say 50%, or more. 30% just in a 6-month period. You stop immigration for 6 months, rents drop by 30%. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and I've seen people are talking now about Collin County is actually one of the worst real estate markets in the United States because so many people moved here. There's so many new homes being built. And like you said, there's this whole other facilitation going on of people from foreign countries moving over here and renting these homes and buying these homes. So if you're trying to sell your house right now in Collin County, you're having a real tough time doing it.
Well, yeah, look at this. So to tell you something crazy too, when I was looking for my last office, you went to my temporary, or you saw I had a smaller, office or whatever. And, there it was mostly Americans, but I went to go rent at this other building and it said there was 2 units free, right? In these offices. Nobody was there when I went to visit. And I ended up looking at this research by what's her name? Battle Maiden or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's how you say it, right? The researcher, the girl. Yeah. So she looked up in one of the offices next door, the one I looked at to rent, there's 138 H-1Bs that were registered. That office was the size of a closet. Okay. Yeah. Now, I know with the Republican establishment, a lot of people can fit in the closet. Okay. Right? That's true. Okay, Lindsay. But a lot of people can. But I remember thinking, that's crazy. Now, what's crazier about that is that office is the first floor, and up above it's Reuters. So it's like Reuters is like going overseas to cover the story. The story is below you.
Wow.
It's right there. The sort of imagery there. Check this out. So Tyler goes. You guys go to visit more people. Check this out.
That's me investigating ghost offices in Texas, where Indian IT staffing companies are undercutting American laborers with an army of H-1B Indians that are nowhere to be found. Hello? You see, employers have to state where the worksite is on their H-1B Indians labor condition application. The only problem is they don't have to amend this paperwork if the Indian works anywhere within the DFW metropolitan statistical area. It just so happens to be 9,286 square miles large, making it nearly impossible to find these H-1B Indians and prove they aren't locked in a cellar somewhere coding C++.
We have plenty of talented people. No, you don't. No, you don't. You also do have to bring in talent.
V4 Tech is right behind me. Let's take a look at the office. We have an empty meeting room in the back here, a Buddha-like statue, completely devoid of life.
I think they should be here.
Someone should be here. 420. There it is. Hello? Hello?
Knock, knock. Anyone here?
Completely empty. Does anyone work out of here ever? We're convinced this is a body shop. No one's here. It's ghost offices. I'm ready.
Is that on?
It's on.
He is thinking correctly.
Is this ESK? Yeah. Hi, my name's Tyler.
Hey, man.
Where do you guys put your H-1Bs?
H-1Bs?
Yes.
Are you from ICE?
No.
Oh, okay. We don't have much H-1Bs. I think only 3 H-1Bs.
We've knocked on a few empty offices that appear to be like ghost offices.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with that term?
I'm familiar with the sale companies, but not familiar with a lot of people.
He was actually
We should have 4 people working on site. Do we have anyone here today? No one? Is this Grand IT LLC? This is a body shop?
No. The Range Rover.
No. What's the problem? If I'm an engineer, could I apply for a job through you?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from India, Hyderabad.
And how many people work here?
6 people.
So you guys just printed these out in case UCSIS came down?
Yes.
And you could find this same phenomenon all the way in Houston.
There should be some H-1B workers
By the way,
that
USCIS
work in
is,
some of these
based
units.
here in Dallas.
Mailbox. It's not an actual physical.
It's mailbox.
They're reporting there's people working inside that mailbox.
No. These are all like literal mailboxes that I put mail in and I take packages.
What is our economy? Hello, is this an office complex?
Sorry?
Is this an office?
We're here to review your public access files. You should have your LCAs posted and your public access files available for review. Do you have those available for review? By law, you should have it here physically ready for review. We will be reporting that we were unable to review the public access file locally.
You work on behalf of Cognizant?
Yes, I do. You should have a public access file for review.
What do you mean by public access file?
Holy, what is that physiognomy?
Yeah, they don't even know what he's talking about.
He's like, fuck! He's like, literally what it is. Just like,
so good.
What? So this is what you guys encountered. This is the kind of stuff you see every day here. I want people to realize, by the way, this is not like one segment of an episode. We paid Red $5,000 for that intro. So this is going to be regular. No, but it's like, this is where we live here. Okay, we live here. This is where my kids are going to live. But it's like, this is like they're supposed to be living. They're going to grow up and what? You're going to have to homeschool your kids. You have to homeschool your kids.
They're going to come home from 3rd grade with an accent.
They're like, their mom's Australian. What accent they have? They're like, welcome back home. Can I go? Let's get a cake, Papa Dad. And you're like, oh shit. My son's dream is to sell slushy Slurpees. You know, he's like, he doesn't know his ABCs, but he knows all his Shell, Chevron. You know, like all his gas stations.
Street food market.
The crazy thing is, how many more viral videos are we going to get exposing this before the government does anything, right?
Well, Greg Abbott doesn't seem to want to do anything at all.
None of them.
He endorses
and so,
it.
You know, even so, I've asked the Frisco City Council about this, and you know, they've gone on record. They won't ever answer me at the city council, right? But they've been reached out by reporters at CBS and Dallas Morning News, and they're like, "Oh, it's a federal problem." Like, you know what? If you right now were breaking the law, and the city of Frisco found you violating a federal law, you know what they'd do? They'd call the FBI, because they would reach out to those federal agencies to prosecute you. But when it comes to this H-1B stuff, they're like just pointing fingers at everybody, and nobody wants to take accountability for it. And who are the people that are affected? Us, locally, right?
It kind of reminds me of like California 20 years ago, what started to happen there when they started just being lenient about the drugs and the homelessness. And it's like, we're kind of at the early stages of that. What will Dallas look like in 20 years from now if this continues?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, wasn't California one of like the reddest states before it went blue?
Yeah, it was people used to go to Long Beach to get over lung cancer. It used to be the place we went for clean air. Yeah. Long Beach used to be the place. LA was where you went to get clean air from the East Coast. Isn't that crazy?
Texas is slowly turning blue. You look at Tarrant County, one of a longtime red seat flipped blue, right? A lot of the ISD seats are flipping blue. People are tired of this. Everybody sees how corrupt the Republican government is now. The only people that are going to go vote for it are really these old boomers that are still stuck in this mindset, right? People like us, we're tired of the system. Personally, I don't vote. I'm not going to vote. I don't think it's going to change my life, right? And so it's going to be...
You know, Florida is set to flip blue as well. The Democrat is leading the governor race there.
That's
right now. Crazy. Now, I'm not making any predictions. I'm not in the prediction market. Right. That's the current polling. So, you know, whether it goes one way or another, isn't that crazy?
Well, look, I mean, but people are talking, you know, people are like, just look at Texas. I tweeted this the other day. Collin County has been known as one of the reddest counties. Texas is known as one of the reddest states. It's all falling apart. Everything's falling apart. Like, right now, we have independent journalists exposing H-1B fraud while the government is over here saying, vote for me. Greg Abbott's like, vote for me. I'm going to be your next governor. And you have all these other, you know, local congressmen. Like, where are these congressmen at? Why aren't they helping me as a Texas resident?
Bad news for you. I'm not going to play the video. I just want to go through it real quickly. Looking like an absolute piece of shit on my way to church here. We went out here. Look at this. These are our council members. Look at that.
It's crazy.
Look at that. You got your votes. You got Sai Krishna.
Let's play this video.
Yeah, play it.
Okay, well,
watch this.
Okay, here you go.
North Dallas, the heartland of America, where our city council elections are coming up, and you have great candidates to choose from, like this guy, Sai Krishna. Hari Krishna. Very American name there. Follow me. Oh, that sounds a little bit American. Rod Howard, maybe that's how you said it, Howard. But who's also running here? That's Srikanth Reddy. Srikanth. I had a friend, I remember back in middle school, I had like 3 friends. It was like, I had 3 friends named Ryan, 3 friends named Brian. I had 6 friends named Srikanth. It sounds like a chemical that they would remove from food that RFK would take out. Over here, okay, we got Adam, we got Shaul right here. I guess there's Mark Hill. Some American names. This is one city. Then you got Chris Pochila. I don't know what that is. That could be Eastern European. Who knows? And then look at this. They're so shameless in this city that you've got VJ Karthik. Okay? Bro's face is so getetic, as we're calling it. He doesn't even put his face because he knows it's going to screw him over. So he puts a peace sign, okay? VJ Karthik. Is that Greek or something? Is that Lithuanian?
It's not Greek.
So. Then you got this year. You got Mooney. Mooney's running. Mooney for Frisco ISD Pals 4. That's fantastic.
He's a good-looking Indian. That says something.
But look, it's not all Indians. Thank God. We got a woman named Kohlberg.
Thank God.
So in America, you got basically a very interesting selection of people running for city council. What happened to this country? You have Jewish people and Indian people and Muslim people and very few Christians running. Good thing we got Krishna back here as well. It gets better. If you thought that those were the best names to run, my favorite today Babu Venkat. Babu, okay? They're literally just taking names from the Jungle Book and they're taking You also have Srimaji. Srimaji's the most American name I ever heard. Srimaji is running, ladies and gentlemen. So the question is, who are you voting for this election? Are you voting for Sai Krishna? Are you voting for Srikanth Reddy? Are you voting for Vijay Partnik? Chris Pujaya? Are you voting for Kohlberg? Are you voting for Babu Venkat? Or are you voting for Srimaji for city council? That's your options, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, there were so few American names, I don't even know who Rod is, but they're just putting up signs for the first time for people who had American names today. We just saw them. But this is what our country has turned into. And the best part is, most of these places, these signs are on plots of land that are owned by people with the last name that sound very Yiddish. And down the street, we've got a Muslim center, a Muslim mosque. We got a Muslim study center and a brand new temple up the street. Frisco for the lovely price of $1.45 million. Your son, Austin Metcalf, can get murdered by a black guy too. The American dream, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah, anyways, I don't know what's going on with our sound. We gotta figure that one out.
Yeah, it must be a connection issue.
You know
We'll
what's
fix it for next
the Jews
episode,
did that.
people.
What's funny about all those American names that you showed that were running for mayor?
Yeah.
They all went to the Indian paint your face celebration or whatever.
Oh, the Diwali one.
They all went to pander to the Indians because, you know, they need the Indians' vote in order to win. And this is something I talked about. If the people in Frisco do not wake up, it really doesn't even matter, even if you do wake up. By 2028, you're probably going to have an Indian mayor and a full Indian city council. And
Do you know
I
how
think
many
you
babies
just
they're having?
illustrated it right there.
How many babies are they having per family? Do you know? off
I
the top of your
don't.
head?
No, I don't.
It's got to be
But
a
there's
lot more than us.
I don't know if
I
you've
would
seen me expose the Boy Scouts at the Frisco City Council.
Oh, I got to go to that. Let me go. That's on your page, right?
Yeah.
Give me a second. That is awful, dude. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's I've been to Frisco City Council 12 times. Okay. After about the fourth or fifth time, I'm like, so every time the city council opens up with the Pledge of Allegiance and it's the Boy Scouts that do it. And I'm like, why are there no white kids? It's like all Indian kids. And I would also, something else that's, I don't know. You might have to search Boy Scouts. I don't know.
No, I've seen it.
I did retweet. I think I did retweet. I've been pretty active ever since.
Do you remember the date of the post? Roughly?
No.
Yeah, here they are pandering. Look.
Yeah,
Mayor Jeff Cheney.
Look, read what he. I can't read it, but read what he wrote in that caption.
Perhaps my all-time favorite Facebook memory is Mayor Frisco, a city where all people are welcome.
You're the mayor of Frisco, and your all-time favorite moment is that.
Now I almost missed the gays. Remember when rainbows just meant you were a faggot, and now it means you're Indian.
He's actually riding out. He's riding out into the sunset. He will not be mayor. He's not even running. His buddy John Keating is going to take over. You might need to.
I'll search it.
Yeah, go to my profile.
Go to Frisco Boy Scouts. I'm going to get in trouble for this one.
Yeah, it almost seems like there's nothing we can do. That's the biggest problem.
Yes, here it is. Here it is. So good. Yeah.
Hey, Texans, tell me if this is normal. When I go to city council meetings, they open up with the Boy Scouts doing the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge. And this is Frisco. And all the Boy Scouts are Indian. There's not a single other race in this group. Doesn't seem very diverse. The last picture was June 17th. This one's May 20th, which means it's a different group of Boy Scouts. Again, all Indian. But there's one black kid right here wearing his hat crooked if you look. But all Indians again, no other races. Here's the Girl Scouts from April 15th. Again, 4 girls, all Indians, no other races. And we'll end with going back to April 1st, where we have 1 white kid, 1 Asian kid, and all Indians. It just seems a little weird for the Boy Scouts to not have diversity, especially in Frisco, Texas. Is it just me that's seeing too much here? Hey, Texans.
I love when they introduce this. Like, my name's Harit Baghdadi. And these I'm like, dude, holy, the kids didn't even get an American accent.
Oh, dude,
that is so crazy.
The kids still have the old accent. They were born here.
The best part is when the Frisco City Council has to read the names of the citizens that are going up to speak, because now there's a lot of Indians that are going up there. They can't even pronounce the names of these people.
Babu. It's like, didn't you already come up? Oh, your name's Babu too. You're also Babu. How many Babus are speaking tonight? Babu Kajit, Babu Darjeet, Babu Dagjit. I just, this is replacement immigration. And I have to be clear on this. What you are seeing in cities like Frisco is the intentional replacement of white Americans, historic Americans, with foreigners for the profitability, the economic destruction of our country at the benefit of politicians, right? That's what's going on here. So it's kind of like a strange thing. It's kind of like a strange aura problem, because they say they want diversity, but diversity just ends up meaning less white people, right? Diversity just ends up meaning that your kids now have brown friends that are leading the country, that are leading the Boy Scouts. And like I said, the kids don't even have American accents. So that's a huge fucking problem when it comes down to it. It's a huge, huge issue. And the problem with balkanization, the problem with this issue is that there's not going to be anywhere safe for your kids, for your people to go. There's not going to be any place for your kids to feel like they belong. And it's not about having diversity. It is about destroying the resistance and the ability for whites to organize, to have power, to have wealth, and replace you with a more subservient class of individuals who do not care about your history. They do not care about your past. They do not care about your future. What they want is they want to use your country like a casino to cash in on. And then they want to what? They just want a class of people who will not rise up. You can't take Americans' guns away, then just replace the Americans. That's what it's about.
We're living in an open book test, and all of this goes back to the World Economic Forum's Great Reset, or the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And that is why all the countries in Europe are unrecognizable now too. Every Western civilization country is being infiltrated with foreigners from all sorts of different places because they don't want you. We're moving to a one world government. I don't believe that, America is really enemies with China and Russia. My opinion is they're all best friends, and they're influencing a new way of life, and they are destroying what we know as America, Western, and Christian culture.
See what happened? We talked about Indians, then the programming went off on our software that puts screens up. The Indians are just ruining everything at this point. That's crazy. Literally, if you talk about Indians poorly, they also organize. They organize. Did you see this recently?
Are you getting spam calls yet, dude?
I get spam calls.
Hey, I sent you a DM
useless
on Twitter, Elijah. And
what?
It's a video. It's about the topic we were just talking about. And it's the old German prime minister. And she basically admits to replacement migration. And the reason it's relevant is because it's the same strategy they're using here. It's just one of the old world leaders actually said it. Let's see if we can pull
why
up.
Why am I getting a
Dinesh DMs me stuff.
Why is Dinesh DMing me stuff?
Ich kann dir nur sagen, dass ich ja,
Check this out.
wenn es danach geht, was die AfD möchte, auch nicht erwünscht bin. Ich habe 2017 einen Wahlkampf gemacht. Dort bin ich oft gar nicht zu Wort mehr gekommen, weil ganz wenige von der AfD einfach alles niedergebrüllt haben. Und ich würde mir wünschen, dass Menschen mit Migrationshintergrund, die vielleicht jetzt solche Gedanken haben, oder mit Migrationsgeschichte, sagen wir mal lieber, dass sie doch auch so viel Bindung an Deutschland haben, dass sie sagen, wir tun uns mit denen zusammen, die eben nicht gemeinsame Sache mit der AfD machen. Die Tatsache, dass wir sagen, oder ich sage, dass es mit denen keine Kooperation gibt und viele andere ja auch sagen, dass es das nicht gibt, die beruht ja nicht darauf, dass man jetzt einfach das nicht möchte, sondern dass die Dinge vertreten, die schlicht und ergreifend mit den Grundvorstellungen unseres Grundgesetzes nicht übereinstimmen. Und ich wünschte mir, dass alle zusammenhalten gegen diese Partei und wir uns jetzt nicht noch spalten als politische Mitte, sage ich mal, in solche, die eine Migrationsgeschichte haben und die solche keine haben, denn dann würde unser Land schwächer werden gegen die AfD. Also eigentlich appellieren Sie auf das gemeinsame Demokratische und denken, wir sollen uns da lösen. Ja, also ich meine, ich rede jetzt mal über die Menschen, die eine deutsche Staatsbürgerschaft haben, weil die sind vom Grundgesetz.
That's good. I think that's the full thing.
Well, those captions are really confusing. I couldn't follow them.
So essentially, what she's saying is that because AFD was gaining more power and they were about to win, that the immigration went up to counter that, and that she knew that the migrants were more sympathetic to the liberal parties rather than the extreme right, who doesn't want them there. That they flooded most of their voting districts, I don't know exactly what they're called, with Indians and Afghanis and Arabs, and it's over for them basically. And AFD lost all of those regions that the immigrants are in, and the ones that the immigrants are not in, they won all those regions, those voting districts. So it goes to show you that the migration, the great replacement theory, it is actually true, and it has substance. And it's losing elections for people.
Well, our Sikh neighbor, he's a nice guy. And he was telling me, I don't get political because, like, of course, he said, I'm not either way, He just works in intelligence for the government. That's crazy. But he said, he's like, why? Because, like, obviously, he doesn't want to, go one way Republican because obviously the minorities, they see you as a traitor, kind of like, you have to be a Democrat. And I hate to be that kaboomer kind of guy and just say it's about voting, but, everyone's got their own piece of this. To some people, to the housing developers, it's just money, right? To the property management companies, it's money. To the tech companies, it's about money. But to the government, it's about control. It's about power. And they will get power by giving the companies money. And the companies will give them money to keep the power. Mm-hmm. And it is all about disenfranchising white people in all of our countries. And now, if this was just happening in one country, I wouldn't be so alarmed, right? If just Germany was fucking with itself and was like, well, or Germany, and then we'd probably have massive immigration from Germany coming to the United States and foreign countries would be like, well, like Rhodesia or something like that. It's just Rhodesia, it's just Rhodesia.
But it's happening in every Western country.
It's in every single one.
Every single
Western country. Someone's like, what about Poland? It's not Western necessarily, It's what the West is committing suicide, but it's not committing suicide. It's intentionally destroying white people. And that's where, like, people always, whenever you bring this up, the worst kind of traitor are the ones that always go, oh, it's the Jews. The Jews, huh? Well, it is, actually. It is Jewish people doing this primarily. And it's like, what about Protestants and whites? Well, yeah, there are a lot of retarded Protestant evangelicals that are
over 40.
Yeah, that are over 40 that are being used by this regime. Regimes, I don't say it's all Jews or that it's only Jews or that it somehow is, but it is a rich banking Jews. And just like blacks, in BLM, people will be like, oh, she's saying all blacks are in this. I go, no, but if you go to Black Twitter, the majority of blacks do defend this stuff. Just because your friend Jamal doesn't mean that he represents your group. And you can't, any boomer, you can't get them to understand statistics for some reason. Like my friend Marcellius is a really great guy. I'm like, Marcellius, is that Greek? It's like pretty close. It's like, no, Marcellius, it's spelled Markelleus. Like, okay, that is not English. That must be a black. So then you're like, seriously, and there's a girl we know named Ladasha, and it was spelled L with a dash A. That's so fucking crazy. Ladasha. That's the most insane black name I've ever heard, right? Even when they name their daughters Mercedes and it's not spelled the way, so I know it's a word, it's crazy. But you move down the line and you're realizing this is a extermination of our people, of our principles, of what we stand for. And, there's partly it's against Christ, about destroying Christianity, but also there is definitely this form of blood libel that's out there. And a lot of people are realizing, Elon Musk realizes it, but I don't know why he's philo-Semitic then. I don't know if that's a cap or a front, but I'm saying the problem is that I don't care if you want to say to Jews or call me anti-Semitic or call me Hindu-phobic or call me Islamophobic. You have Muslim countries, okay? You can go live in them. You have India. You have a Hindu country. Go live in it. We don't just, it's not like this happened to one country so we're mad because they have a fucked up government. It's happening in all of our countries everywhere, and there's nowhere to go. Okay, if you're white, there's nowhere to go. If you can't find a white safe place for Christianity and European principles in Dallas, heritage principles or American heritage principles in Dallas, where can you find it?
Yeah. Well, it poses the question for Mark. Do you think, based on everything that you know a lot more than us about this, is there any way out of this for us in Texas at least?
People like to call me black-pilled or a doomer, right? Mm-hmm. But I still have hope in people. If I didn't have hope, I wouldn't be going and speaking at these city council meetings. I wouldn't be getting onto this podcast trying to share my story and talk about this stuff. But my hope is definitely not voting in the system, because to me, it's too far gone. Like we've all talked about many times on this podcast, nothing has gotten better. And our politicians, you know, I said this the other day too, like, why are all of our politicians like have millions of followers on X? Like they're just tweeting like they're celebrities, right? And then there's people in there co-signing them like, yeah, dude, I'm going to vote for you. You're so great. It's like, dude, you guys aren't doing shit for us.
Half of those are Indian bots.
Yeah, that too, you know, or, you know, boomers on there that still believe in this government. But I can go down a list of names with Texas politicians that people celebrate these guys as heroes. And I've reached out to many of them begging for help when T-Mobile was lying to prosecute me, and I was put in jail over my free speech in the state of Texas.
When did that happen?
That happened last year. So I went to jail. It took a while for the case and the trial. I caught a harassment charge in September 2024. We finally went to trial in August. And I got sentenced to 6 months in jail for harassment. And it was really just because of my free speech and my First Amendment right. But what happens is when you speak up to a corporation in the state of Texas, they are going to weaponize the system and come after you. And I reached out to all the big name politicians in Texas, begging them to help me. None of them helped me, and I got put in jail.
And they're not going after those Indians that are skirting the system.
They're not doing
going
it
after you for criticizing it.
Exactly. That's like
Babu's doing very well.
I try and tell people, like, there's a lot of people that still are celebrating these Texas politicians, but like my story that I've documented over the past 3 years as a lifelong Texan turned T-Mobile whistleblower single-handedly exposes how corrupt our system is. I shouldn't be the only one telling my story. And I'm thankful, you know, this is the first time I'm in an official studio. This place is legit, by the way. Like, kudos to you guys for putting it together. It's very nice. I feel welcomed here. This is the first time anyone has asked me onto their platform. And
it's shocking. Well, I didn't know, like, and by the way, and you know, in due time, I will come forward more with as we continue to rack up wins in court. We've already racked up 2, and I have two very important trials. One very important trial coming up in September, two in the next 2 months. And, you know, it's crazy because I went to the public. I told them what's happened to me. I'm not going to go into the details. I said, this is what's happening to me. And I got relentlessly mocked. And then they put a Jew out, Milo, to put out lies and tell people what was happening to me. And then everyone believed him. And there's no evidence. There's nothing, just bullshit. And I'm coming to people like police reports, documents, leaked emails. And everyone's like, they just want the sensation. They want to side with the wrong people. Now I'm in the Supreme Court of Florida, Supreme Court of Texas. They believe me. I'm in court. And I'm showing you this is what happened to me. And, you know, you have articles, oh, this guy, you know, saying this, you know, and you just got dumped and this and that's like, that's not what happened. I have documents and film and videos and everything. And it's like, and you reach out to people that you think are reasonable people. We were talking about this and they're just like Ben was talking about this too. It's like, they're like, oh my gosh, Elijah killed his family or whatever. Like, cause some stupid bitch named Abby Libby like writes that on the internet. Like some literal stupid Jew bitch
people just
writes something and there's no evidence. And that's when you realize it doesn't matter if it's in your personal life. It doesn't matter if it's in your corporate life. The system is there to fuck people that are doing the right thing. And what you look at, and when you actually trace it back, I show people, look, it's actually connected to the FBI. And my own sister's like, you're crazy. You need help. And I go, here's emails showing that my brother-in-law is working with the FBI. Here's the emails from him to Milo. Check this out. And she's like, oh my God, you need help. You're going, fucking hell, bitch. This is a fucking email from this. This is like it's accepted in the Texas Supreme Court. They said this is evidentially true. It was verified by police. It was verified by the State Department, and this is in court right now. And I'm in federal Supreme Court fighting against the FBI on a multi-tier structure. And you literally the FBI director's girlfriend coming after me, and you're telling me you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're crazy,
and you're still
and
out
you're
here,
going, the fuck is wrong with you?
You're still out here speaking up. Like I don't think the average person doesn't understand the amount of pressure that's applied to someone when the system is coming after you.
Yeah.
Right? When Texas and T-Mobile were coming after me, I kept sharing my stories. I was begging people to help. And I was out, everything that I was out there saying I knew could be held against me. Right?
Everything. They get you in jail for nothing.
I watched you talk about a lot of the stuff that you just shared right there. And like, you couldn't say that stuff if it was bullshit. Like, you are in the court system.
you go to jail. They'll put you in jail. Exactly. If you lie, you're in jail.
You're done. So like you have, I don't think people really understand the amount of pressure you're probably under going through all of this while you're also out here still speaking up, because it takes a big amount of balls to be able to do that.
Because you're still doing it.
I did the same thing. I know, like people don't understand the shit that the mental drain that you go through, and you're just, you know that you're still doing the right thing and nothing's going to stop you, and you just got to keep speaking up.
Well, and this harassment thing is funny. This is what they do. Corporations, this is why corporate law, family law, it's all meant to fuck good people.
Yeah.
Because it's meant to keep you subservient, right? Whether it's Indians coming in through immigration, everything's about subjugating people.
Because they have a plan.
Because it's ultimately a plan to like, they don't want whistleblowers to have a voice.
They want to replace us.
They don't want fathers and dads and husbands to have authority over their family. They don't want you to have authority over your kids. They want your kids to be, like the court wants my boys to be raised without a father. And so, like, I think it's so crazy. It's like the Me Too situation where it's like, if you get falsely accused of rape, you can go to jail for 20 years and then she gets nothing happening to her. In court, in family court or in corporate court, they're actually very similar. It's like you can send a text message and go to jail for 6 months for harassment when all you did was like send a text message or ask a question. Same with family court. A woman, by the way, guys, this is just a warning to you. I'm gonna tell you this. My lawyers warned me about this and it's very, very true. And I'm gonna tell you this. They told me, if you file for divorce and you have the upper hand and you are in the right in this situation, the first thing that they're going to do, a woman's going to do, is file a restraining order, try to keep it from you, and try to get you caught up in violating a restraining order you don't know about so that she can get you on a warrant and make you look like a criminal. I didn't know that kind of stuff was true. Then I find out from the media. I say, if I read a Bulwark article, I wake up one day and it's like, there's a restraining order against Elijah. And you go, I've never heard about this. And this has happened in business too. This happens in business, the same thing. And they try to get you on technicalities. And so with your thing and what you're doing, it's kind of crazy because what were you speaking out against? This is what I'm trying to say. What does my personal life have to do with anything? Nothing. It's that I was raising money for an organization and we were going to be against the Iran war. And it's known that they were trying to take me out for a while. And so they tried to come after my job. For you, you were exposing what was going on with immigration and replacement and what was happening, and they used the court to get you on harassment. And it's like, then people are like, oh, he's a harasser. It's like, bitch, the whole thing is about him exposing these corporations and the bullshit they're doing to Americans, and you're getting caught up in their game. And I think that it's exactly the opposite of what politicians do. Politicians are like the shittiest people, but they're like, look, I love Diwali. And it's like, bro, you're sending people to war in Iran.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about Diwali? It's like with you. Who gives a fuck about harassment? This guy is exposing T-Mobile, using and gaming our system to destroy American jobs. And we're seeing that in Oracle. We're seeing that in tech industry. AI and Indians, and the boomers are always like, it's AI. You're being replaced with AI. You're being replaced with Indians, you fucking boomer. It's not AI, dude. You're being replaced with third world immigrants who then they integrate with AI to make up for their low IQ, to automate. And then they just use them to do the basic tools and anything advanced calculations or prediction models. They used white men and Asian or like Chinese or Japanese guys to train the models. And then they end up replacing you, and they use low IQ third worlders to maintain the operating systems.
It's a slave society.
It's a slave society. And I'm just going to say, you didn't give up though.
Yeah.
And I think that's where our audience is different than, let's just say, like these random fuckers out there, and why we have you on is because I'm not distracted by their charades. I don't fall for that. Oh, he got him on harassment. I don't fall for that shit. You're speaking out, and they can't put you in jail, and they haven't gotten you for defamation. They haven't gotten you for libel. They haven't called you a liar.
Exactly.
They called you everything else except for one thing, a liar.
Exactly. They can't send me a cease and desist and tell me to stop because I'm telling the truth. And what's crazy, and I've documented all this at markpaliciano.com on my Substack, or go to my YouTube. I have been completely transparent about this entire process. Whenever they got me on this charge, they had to lie. The T-Mobile executive had to lie to the police officer, and he told them that he told me to stop texting them when that never happened. So that was part of my charge. Well, guess what? When we're going to go to trial in May, all of a sudden the state asked the judge to rewrite the charge. And then they totally removed the lie out of it because they knew we were going to expose that in court. And then they changed it. Instead of text messages, they said electronic communications. Because then what the prosecution did was they sent a warrant and got all my social media. They got my X account, they got my Instagram, they got my Substack. And they dug through every DM, everything dating back to 2023, which was even before the charge that they had no right to go look into. And they rewrote the charge and said that I sent multiple electronic communications. The state of Texas put me in jail for tweets.
It's extremely Orwellian. It's
Right.
like the people that actually live here and care about the country, we're getting arrested for wrong speak. It's literally wrong speak. And the people that aren't supposed to be here that, you know, they're the good little soldiers that come from other countries. They can do whatever they want. Nothing happens to them. They never get removed. It's sickening, really, especially as a young American, you know, looking at my future, what that's going to look like. It's really not looking good for us.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. Yeah. I'm 42, man. I'm like an old man in this game at this point. You know, like,
well, but you're in the perfect age because, like, you know, I'm going to trial in September for a meme, you know, for a picture with Cash Patel's girlfriend.
It's crazy.
You know, and but people say
hey,
things,
she did the same thing. Didn't she just call somebody like
foreign ops?
Yeah,
she called me a foreign op.
Yeah.
She just called me a foreign op. She said I was working for Russia. And you're like, well, how can you? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck?
We should actually at this.
We should
point.
countersue. You know, we should. But also, I was gonna say to people, people say like, you know, your personal life should just be personal. But here's the point: it's not. Because what our enemies do, and you'll see this with Nick Fuentes a lot too, is the only reason why you know about Marc's personal life, or you get these harassment things, or you know about my divorce, or these things, I would have preferred the world not to know. I would prefer not to talk about it. I prefer to stay focused on immigration. I'd prefer to stay focused on the issues. But what they do is when they can't get you on the issues, they go after your personal life and make your personal life public. And that's sort of the trick there. And I think what's crazy is then if they can't get you on your personal life, then they kill you. And that's kind of where it goes down to with like the whistleblowers with Boeing. Eventually they just shoot you or stab you, and they call it a suicide. And I find it to be really remarkable because I think with the whole immigration situation that we're dealing with here is nobody has an objection to it, to what we're saying, and can prove that we're wrong. In fact, we're absolutely right. All they can do is bring up our personal life or call us racist. And that's where people like you and me are like, fine, put me in jail, bullshit me with litigation, put me through lawfare. I am not going to tell my kids that I gave them a world without fighting. And you know what? Like I was arguing with someone today about the Iran war. I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm not going to shut up about 9/11 or Iraq to this day because it's correct. We shouldn't have been there. We shouldn't have done this. This wasn't the right thing to do. It's not okay. We should never have gone in. It was all a lie. And this is all a lie. We shouldn't have gone in. And what's happening in our country, it's all a cover overseas for what's happening here. The immigration, the Epstein files, the lack of transparency, the corruption, the budget. Our country is just on a fast track of decline, and it is gotten, dude, in 20 years, it went from less than 5% Indian in the city to, like, they say it's 33, but I actually read it's closer to 37. It's almost close to 40.
Yeah, I'm sure the numbers are behind.
It's behind. These are 2024 numbers.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're at a point now where it could be 40, it could be 50. It's like at a point you'll be like, oh, Frisco, yeah, it's New Delhi. It's like they'll rename the city, you know? It'll be called Friskelli, but
And
it's
if
not
their kids
Italian.
if their kids are born here, they're citizens.
Birthright.
Yeah.
Birthright. But I'm just saying,
Yeah, and that's
we're headed there. 10 years from now, it could be 70%.
And you know, you talked about not giving up, talking about 9/11 and these wars. My big one is COVID. I still believe that I lived through one of the greatest crimes against humanity in my lifetime. There is zero accountability for it. That's also one reason why I did not vote this last go around or believe in the government that a lot of people were supporting, because my beef still goes back to Operation Warp Speed. This guy, our president today, will still and he'll still celebrate it. He has celebrated it the entire time. Not only did he celebrate it, when he got into office in 2025, the first thing he did was double down with Project Stargate, partnering with Oracle and SoftBank, giving them over billions of dollars to now create vaccines that were based off of AI. What the hell are we talking about?
Sign me up, please.
Like, you know, and this is where I have, you know, I don't mean to be black-pilled, because I still have hope, and I still have hope in the people. But man, the system is it's gone at this point.
It seems like the only hope is going to be almost like a Spanish Inquisition style comeback.
Well,
it's like we're going to lose a lot of shit, a lot of states and a lot of land, but eventually maybe the white American will win some back and actually fight for.
Are you going to run? I'm thinking about running one day here in Texas. This is 2032.
People keep telling me to, but I just don't know. Like, I feel like if I even got into office, dude, I would just be frustrated, because you have to just turn in your integrity card.
No, we have to become a republic again.
You know,
Texas
and
become a republic.
we should. If a bunch of us could actually run, and you have platforms where we can get the word out, maybe we can influence some change. You know, I talked. You know, a lot of people think. a lot of people think the Second Amendment, they're like, oh, the Second Amendment is to protect myself. No, the Second Amendment was given to us to not allow a corrupt government to take us over. And unfortunately, right now, I think we are living in times where the Second Amendment should be used, but we don't know how to get together and use it.
Most people don't even know the second half, which is right to form militias as well.
Exactly.
Iran's just using the Second Amendment
to bear arms.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with
you can form a militia legally.
It has nothing to do with protecting you on the streets. It has everything to do with protecting you from a corrupt government. Tyranny.
From King George again.
Shout out to the Ayatollah for forming militias and being more constitutional in our own country.
Please pray for Iran.
Totally joking.
Pray for Iran. Pray for the Ayatollah. They're doing really good work out there.
I'm joking.
They're fighting a battle that I don't think I am actually. No, I'm with this one. Yeah. Pray for the Ayatollah. Pray for Iran. They are fighting our battles. They're fighting the war that we should be fighting.
God gives his greatest battles to his biggest soldiers.
I got George gassed up on the militias.
On a side note, shout out to J666 Y4U. I don't know what that stands for. A couple of these things, Marc Palisciano, if people want to find you and follow you before we read the super chats, just so you know, we haven't quite figured out how to switch the stream to just locals. So we're working on that with this new setup. So that will be soon. Join our locals, ElijahSchaefer.locals.com. For at least the next month, you guys are going to get probably like ad-free shows because most of our contracts and stuff don't start till a little bit. We are really rebuilding from the ground up, and the whole board and everything, and kind of the growth and the new shows, and I'm kind of very excited about it. But I also wanted to say, really this time, we're not going to have any female hosts on the network. Okay. Yeah. For real. Okay.
I will quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We might have some twinks. You might see a couple twinks on here every once in a while, but they're straight. It's a joke. Okay. It's just, every time I take a picture with a guy, everyone's like, are you fucking these guys? And you're like, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what else to say. Sure. Be gay and retarded, do crimes. What else should I? What do you want me to say?
Elijah popped my cherry tonight.
I did. I actually did on his strawberry.
And I made a podcast. This is the first time I've been in a very nice studio.
It's a requirement.
I appreciate it.
It's a requirement for getting on the show.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I wanted to say this. So how can people find and follow you? So before we read the super chats and to get some stuff from the chat there.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm severely shadow banned, so it's hard to find me. I'm Marc_Palisciano. Let me spell it real quick. MARC_PALASCIANO. That's my handle on X, YouTube, Instagram. My website's marcpalaciano.com. I really prided myself. Like one of my fun facts, when you're like in school, people are like, oh, what's your fun fact? Mine was, I'm the only Marc Palaciano in the United States, which I thought, it's actually pretty cool. Right. But at the same time, I also realized that's what's made it so easy to censor and shadow ban me is that I'm the only one. So I'm pretty hard to find online.
Yeah,
absolutely. Someone put this up and said, someone put this picture up and said, Frisco soon. Yeah. So I'll tell you this, Frisco will be the last city to get a train line.
If you want to find me, just search Frisco City Council on X and you'll see one of my, you're bound to find one of my viral videos.
Absolutely. A couple of super chats we got coming in. We got 2 on Rumble today. $2 from Randall Flagg. Let's get a round of applause for that. You should give a little round of applause. Thank you. My buddy, lived in Plano, Texas, right next door to Frisco. He left the state last year with his pregnant wife after he saw 2 45-year-old Jeets try to enroll at a local high school as freshmen.
What?
Wow. He also had $2 that my buddy. Send it again. I don't know. We also have in YouTube, Randall Flagg. We have 2 super chats here in YouTube. Bring it down here for a second. Let me get there. You go. Vince Lasagna. Let's get a round of applause and some confetti for $5 there. Thank you. Was it pre-ejaculate? He said, my family's village is mere 30 miles north of where Israel's evacuation zone begins. Thank you for mentioning what Israel is doing to Lebanon. I'm sorry, my mate.
We're going to win it all back after we destroy Israel.
Vince Lasagna, another $5. Get some air horns there. Indians are allowed to immigrate here because they need to import Israel supporters since they can't brainwash Americans to support Israel anymore. That is absolutely true. Absolutely there. Now, let me real fast, for the sake of this show, usually I end up, putting in the link to his X account. So let me just grab this first and throw it in the chats, in Rumble and on YouTube.
Oh, thanks.
If you want to follow him, I'm throwing in his link to his X account You can probably find the rest of his stuff from there as well. Make sure that you follow. And after the show, we end up adding his social links into the description as well, putting some clips up tomorrow to promote. And I'm very happy to have you guys here. As you know, we are streaming now every night during the week. It's going to take a while to find our people. I saw a few more people every night saying, I didn't know you were streaming again. It's good to see you streaming again. And we're going to see a lot of that going on because we were gone for a while. And like I mentioned, as from here on out, we're basically going to just be focusing on the issues and what's going on. But it is Orthodox Holy Week this week. And I did also stab my hand a half-inch inside, which was unfortunate. There's a bunch of stitches on here and glue. It shot out blood. It was really gross. How did I do it? Trying to cut a bagel. You know who invented bagels?
Yeah.
All comes together.
It all starts to make sense. Do you know who invented blood libel? There was blood. Now let's keep going, you know? Yeah. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, X, wherever you can find me at Elijah Schaefer or Rift TV.
At Elijah Schaefer.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. We got to make those bigger, those name keys.
We got to make it last longer.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what she always told me, but it never worked.
People.
You ever tried Blue Chew?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Are they a sponsor?
No, they should be.
Not yet.
Blue Chew's actually the coolest product you'll ever use in your life. Warning, a girl has to want to have sex with you to use it, or you will go to jail.
Elijah made me take one to be on the podcast.
Yeah, all of us. It's a requirement before the show.
It's called, it's the after show. It's called Bricked Up with Elijah Schaefer.
Keeps your energy up.
Keeps your energy up.
Quarter.
No, it's actually really cool. So if you actually take a quarter of them and you go work out too, because sildenafil, low dose, actually just gives you like power and doesn't give you, it gives you blood flow to your muscles. So you can actually take it, but it actually, is a male enhancement, not just a sexual enhancement, male enhancement. It's a very cool medication. I don't have a prescription or anything. I've tried it before, and it was very cool, and I got to get some of those. Apparently, they're very, very good. Because you too, believe it or not, I went to CPAC without Blue Chew, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. You know what I mean?
That's true.
That is true. I don't know. Well done, my good and faithful son. God forbid. God forbid you go to CPAC with some Blue Chew.
A couple Blue Chews in the pocket.
No, but jokes aside, make sure you guys hit us up at ElijahSchaefer.locals.com. Thank you guys for joining the show. Shout out to those who are in the locals. Shout out to Channel B, like I said, Zesty AIDS, Doomsday Cracker, MPCV, Drew N. Let me see if there's anybody else that I missed.
Hey, and thanks for having me on, dude. I appreciate it. Like, I look forward to coming back and doing this more.
Yeah, we will have you back.
We will have you back
for sure. You're a great guest.
Thank you,
you're
guys.
here. We're here 5 days a week. I don't think the Indian issue is going to be solved by Friday. So there might be more, but you're going to talk about any and all issues. And I hope this also reminds you, if you are so focused on local issues, it is all connected to the greater issue as well. Like we said, that there's bigger things involved. Tomorrow will be a solo show, I think. Tomorrow will be a solo show, but I mentioned it's Orthodox Holy Week, so the shows are going to be a little bit later. They're going to be starting around like 9:30, 9:40 Central, 10:30, 10:40 Eastern, because church is at night and Easter is next week.
We'll try to get it at 9:30 every night, people.
Yeah. But I mean, we'll try. But about 9:30,
if not, we'll announce why.
And then it should be going back to 9 p.m. the following week. But of course, you got to put church first. And also, to remind people, I don't know where people got the idea that you're supposed to stop following God because you struggle with sin. That's the weirdest thing I ever heard. Or like, you can't believe in God, you're a sinner. And you're like, buddy, God is here for people like me. Okay. I don't know if you knew this, but you remember the guys that thought they were self-righteous and like thought they were good? Remember those guys that called the Pharisees and stuff, and God called them like brood of vipers and stuff like that? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The synagogue of Satan and stuff. Check yourself before you eternally wreck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We all need Christ. We all need God. And if you don't have a sense of humor, remember, Jesus didn't just weep. He also probably laughed too, because he was a human being. And God does have a sense of humor. He made black people. So, I mean, hey,
so
no one laughed at that one. That fell flat. I'm joking. That was a joke.
Visit your local Orthodox church. The bridegroom services are at 6 p.m. usually at your local church this whole week, 6 p.m. They're great if you want to get a little taste, dip your toes in.
Yeah, and lastly, JAA666Y4U said 3-time Trump voters can't be more mad than 2-timers. True. Give them one air horn for $2. There you go. All right, guys. Once again, to my guest, Marc Palisciano, thank you for coming on, man. It's been fantastic.
Appreciate it.
And to Georgie for third time producing, I think, doing a pretty damn good job. So let's get some W's in the chat. W's in the chat for Georgie for doing a good job.
My tag. There it is. And it's gone. Thank you, everybody.
Sorry, I'm not the best with graphics. And to the
Thanks.
Shout out
TV. Then.
Shout out to the quarterfinals.
Shout out to the H1B running the TV.
Yeah, it's like Pornhub, Black.com with all like recommendations and that. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, we gotta fix that. I don't know.
On Wednesday, Australia Talk will be on as the guest, and on Thursday will be another solo show. We look forward to talking to you and to seeing you. You'll have lots of new guests, lots of new people, and I think we might have Nikki and them back on Friday as well, which should be good. The rest of you guys have a great rest of the week as always, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.